it's Covino and Rich. When production shifts, your workforce has to keep up without driving cost up. Express Employment Professionals connects manufacturers with skilled talent fast, contract or full-time, so the job gets done right. Need assemblers, machinists, quality inspectors, maintenance techs, or production leaders?
Get started at expresspros.com to find the right people when you need them and reap the benefits of a flexible workforce. Hire smarter and faster with your local Express office. Go to expresspros.com to find a location nearest.
You've been saying you're going to pay better attention to your home's honeydews. Check one off your list right now by calling Gabrud Services to schedule a 12-point inspection of your home's electrical system. The safe rule of thumb is every 5 years for an inspection. If it's been 5 years or more, call Gabrud's now. A qualified technician will provide a thorough inspection of the electrical system to ensure it's safe or alert you to potential problems. At Gabrud's, electrical work is all we do. We are the area's recognized experts for anything electrical, and our number one priority is ensuring your home and family are safe. You've been saying you'll pay better attention to your home. Stop saying it. Make the call to Gabrud's. Talk with a real person and schedule your 12-point inspection today. Gabrud's, locally owned for more than 30 years. Gubrud's.
Call the good dudes at Gabrud's. Gubrud's. Gabrud's.com.
Spring is here, so check your tires. When your vehicle needs the best, get Firestone Firehawks. They are built on years of racing heritage and are designed with the latest in tire technology. This month, save $100 on a set of 4 Firestone Firehawks. They provide the confidence and comfort you've come to expect from Firestone. Race into Express Tires, 7215 Watt Avenue, and find the set that's right for you. Whatever you drive a Firestone. Get them at Express Tires, 7215 Watt Avenue.
Okay, we are running a car drive right now to help veterans all across America. So if you have an old car, truck, or van, even a motorcycle or an RV sitting around, you can right now give it away and help the vets. They really need your help. And your car will help support the vets and their families. And guess what? You even get a tax donation. Plus, we'll even come and pick up your car for free. And all you've got to do is pick up your phone right now and make a free call. Now is the perfect time to do something good for the vets. Give back to the vets right now for all they've done for this country. And your old car can really help them. So call the Veterans Car Donation Program right now for free pickup of your vehicle. Help the vets and help your taxes at the same time. Call right now.
800-598-0539. 800-598-0539. 800-598-0539. That's 800-598-0539.
You can't control when an accident happens, but you can control who you call after one. So call us, the Accident Guys, your trusted injury attorneys. 877-888-GUYS.
Need an accident attorney by your side? All you got to do is call the Accident Guys.
The Grant Napear Show.
My show begins at 3 o'clock, 104.7 FM, 890 AM. Download the Fox Sports KSAC app.
Weekdays 3 to 6 on Fox Sports Sacramento.
Wouldn't it be great if life came with a remote control? You know, you could hit pause when you needed to, or hit rewind, like that time you knocked down that wasp's nest. Uh-oh. Or that time you forgot to roll up your windows in the car wash.
Fantastic.
Yeah, a remote control would have come in handy then. Well, life doesn't always give you time to change the outcome, but prediabetes does. With early diagnosis and a few healthy changes like managing your weight, getting active, stopping smoking, and eating healthier, you can stop prediabetes before it leads to type 2 diabetes. It's easy to learn your risk. Take the 1-minute test today at doihaveprediabetes.org. Life doesn't come with a remote control. Yikes! So you're on your own with the wasps. You have the power to take control of prediabetes. Visit doihaveprediabetes.org today. That's doihaveprediabetes.org. Brought to you by the Ad Council and its Prediabetes Awareness Partners.
The voice of Sacramento sports is back.
Hear Grant Napear every weekday beginning at 3 right here. KSAC 890 AM Olivehurst, K284CM 104.7 FM Sacramento. Hello, Sacramento. Sacktown. And welcome in.
Grant Napear.
How you been? You know this guy.
It's your show.
So happy to hear you on the airwaves.
2+ decades on the radio with you.
Just the start of an incredible journey.
Now he's back on Fox Sports 104.7 FM and 890 AM.
3 to 6 every day. Fox Sports Sacramento.
The phone number?
916-779-0929.
His name? Grant Napear.
And a good afternoon, everybody. Boy, do we have a lot to talk about. Leading off with the Kings game last night, the game in which the NBA is investigating what happened with 3 minutes and 15 seconds left, and the Kings leading by 1 point with the Warriors in the penalty, and Kings head coach Doug Christie calling for Doug McDermott to intentionally foul an outstanding free throw shooter, Seth Curry. Were the Kings deliberately tanking, or was it a coach's error? Brian Windhorst, ESPN, talking about how it was a coach's error, not realizing that the Kings were in the penalty, and that Christie wanted to use a timeout before he automatically lost it. When the clock went below 3, they're calling it a miscalculation. I also have to believe it's a miscalculation based on the way the Kings have played their games this year. Now, you can talk all you want about who's on the court and who's not in terms of when the game begins, like who's in uniform and who's in street clothes. And I think that common sense would tell you that the Kings are trying to compete with less talented players. Okay, I think that's what's going on. You know, based on the fact that the Kings have already played through last night 80 games, and their pattern of playing the games to win the games to this point in the season, I find it very hard to believe that all of a sudden, with 3 minutes left to go in game 80, on the road, up by 1, they're going to do something stupid enough to draw the attention of everyone across the league, and now the league that is investigating. I'm not a fan of Draymond Green. He talks too much. He's got a big mouth, and he never takes accountability for anything unless he's forced to. But I thought his comments from a player's perspective were interesting, and this is what he had to say after the game last night.
I think I get fined when I do wrong. Just fine the hell out of people. You know, we love taking money from players. Keep fining the teams. I've seen 2 fines, and we all know everybody tanking. But you've seen 2 fines. You know? If it was players, we snatched that money in a heartbeat. Why isn't it the same? Everybody love money. Well, so, you know, the punishment for players is always, let's take the money. Well, now it becomes time to punish teams, and all of a sudden, nobody will know what to do. Why not? We know exactly what to do when somebody gets a technical foul or suspended for a game. We know exactly what to do. All of a sudden, we got team issues. We don't know what to do. What happened to the whole take the money stuff? You know? Everybody else trying to reach a quota too. But when it comes to player discipline, we want to snatch the money as fast as we can. Come to team discipline, and we see 12 teams tanking. We've seen 2 fines. If my math serves me correctly, that's 10 that ain't been fined. Just some quick math. It could be wrong, so don't judge me if it's wrong. But, you know, we won't keep that same energy. When it comes to teams, when it comes to officials, when it comes to everybody but players, we don't keep that same energy. But it's a players' league.
All right, that's Draymond Green after the game last night. In terms of only two teams being fined, you can't really argue with that. Those two teams are Indiana and Utah. He is right about that. The thing here is, can you really fine the Kings because the coach made a mistake? That's what happened here. The coach made a mistake, okay? It's 100% against Doug Christie's MO and everything that he believes to tank. And by tanking, I'm talking about within the context of the game, trying to lose the game intentionally. Doug's not going to do that. I know Doug well enough to know that he's not going to do that. All right? I was with the guy every day for years. I know what he thinks, how he thinks. I know his viewpoint on all of this stuff, okay? He's not going to do that. I'm pretty confident in stating that Doug Christie is not going to intentionally lose the game. Now, the decisions made before the game about who's playing and who's not, that's different. But within the game itself, at the end of a close game, up by one, he's not going to intentionally foul a outstanding free throw shooter in front of a full arena and the entire NBA to lose the game. I mean, it doesn't make sense. You know, I always talk about common sense. Common sense is this is a coaching mistake. One of many, by the way, that has been made since he took over for Mike Brown, if I can also add that caveat, okay? This is nothing new. His use of timeouts this year have been horrible, absolutely horrible. So to me, last night was nothing more than a coaching mistake. It's not a finable offense, in my opinion. It goes down as a blunder. All right? In a season of blunders, it's one more blunder, but it's not intentional. It's not tanking. And even though the league is investigating, I think that you have to take into account who's coaching the team, the track record to this point, and the fact that the Kings really, for the most part, have played the game honestly with the players that are on the floor. Okay? Somebody said people don't watch the Kings religiously. They don't realize that the Kings aren't tanking. They're just a bad team in an organization. Big difference. That's from the 209. There's a lot of truth to that. 916-779-0929 if you want to add on to this conversation. Ryan, I want to bring you in because we've talked so much about tanking this year. And to me, this is nothing more than a coaching mistake. It's not finable. It's just a bonehead decision by the head coach of the Sacramento Kings. That's what it is. It's called a mistake. All right? Everyone makes mistakes. He made a mistake last night with 3 minutes and 12 seconds left when he asked Doug McDermott to foul Seth Curry.
Yeah, and to the 209's point, Adam Silver drew that distinction the last time he had a press conference about this. It's getting so much attention because it's such a big problem in the league. Yes. If this wasn't a problem in the league, this would not be talked about.
Correct.
And Doug, just as he has sometimes with timeouts, did not manage it well. It was nothing more than that. And I think the investigation should come out that way when the NBA finishes after they talk to all the parties. But, you know, the Kings what breaks my heart for the Kings is the fact that I feel they have done this ethically and the right way, and now they're getting dragged through the mud for one mistake.
You know, I disagree with you a little bit. I think they've done it ethically within the context of the 48 minutes. You can't tell me that the players that are currently not playing would all be out if the games were meaningful. That's I'm sorry. I don't agree with that.
Okay.
I don't think that's true.
Okay, let me put it this way. They're going 70 and a 65. Utah, to me, they're going 80 and a 65. And that's why they got fined. So I'm
good
not
analogy.
I'm not
That's
saying,
a good analogy. I can't argue with that.
I'm not saying that towards the game, you're right. If we're taking the 30,000-foot approach, then yes, this is not ethical. But within the context of what is acceptable right now in the NBA, what does not get you fined, I feel like they've done the right things. I can only call out 2 times that they've pulled guys off the court, one of them being a couple of games ago. DeMar DeRozan didn't play the second half.
Yep.
And there was one game, I want to say about
Been few and far between.
30 games ago, and that was when we started to see the youth movement. So it is what it is.
Here's where we're at. It's once again a negative piece of news, perception more so than reality sometimes.
Yeah.
It's once again talk in the NBA that is bad for the league. All right? Because this is a story that a lot of people aren't going to really look into. They're going to read the headlines and they're going to go, NBA, right? Tanking. Here's another team. They're not going to really get into it like we are.
Right.
All right. They're just going to look at the headlines and they're going to go, yep, that's why I don't watch the league anymore.
Doug Christie's pictures on the front page of ESPN. He's on the background of the story about tanking in the picture for the article.
Yeah.
There you
All
go.
right. 916-779-0929. That's 916-779-0929. Good job by the Giants as they're very close to winning the game again today after shutting out the Phillies yesterday. This is exactly what they need with their schedule coming up the way it is and their horrible start. And after losing the first game of this set to the Phillies and only having one win, they win last night, and they're 2 outs away from winning this afternoon. So good job there. A's with a really tough game last night. Rosario of the Yankees hits 2 home runs, including a go-ahead 3-run homer in the 8th. So the A's were feeling good, and then all of a sudden, they're not feeling good, and they lose 5-3. Here's the bottom line. Most times, you are not going to win a game against the Yankees if you only score 3 times. Okay? That's where we're at. You're not going to beat the Yankees most nights scoring 3 runs. Their lineup is too good. It's too potent. They are a team that can hit the ball and they do hit the ball out of the ballpark unless you get a stellar pitching performance. And the A's had a good pitching performance last night. And then the bullpen, which we've talked about being suspect this year, let them down in a big spot. You know, you got the lead in the 8th, and you're rolling 3-1, and you lose 5-3. So not a good way to start the road trip for the Athletics. And they will play game 2 of that 3-game set coming up in about an hour. The Masters, here we go. Round 1 tomorrow. Who do you like? Who's going to win the green jacket on Sunday? Scale of 1 to 10. Where's your interest in the Masters? I'm at about a 9+. Okay? I'm about a 9+. I would say more, I'd probably say a 9.5, okay? I think without Phil Mickelson, without Tiger Woods, it has a different feel to me. But it's a 9+, probably 9.5. So we'll give our master picks coming up in a little while. But who do you think is going to be wearing the green jacket on Sunday? We'll talk about that at 916-779-0929. This from the 916. Could you imagine if the MLB called the game differently in the regular season as opposed to the offseason? That's why I stopped watching the NBA. It's a good point. I don't know of any other sport where there's such a disparity from the regular season to the postseason. It's not like that at hockey. It's not like that in baseball. It's not like that in the NFL. Let's get to Tom in Roseville. Tom, welcome to the show. How are you today?
Grant, I'm fantastic. How are you, sir?
I'm well. Thank you for calling the show.
Okay, just have to call because I'm a lifelong athletics fan. Grew up in the Bay Area, now live in Roseville, and I am having a hard time with still having a hard time, and I'm always going to have a hard time with Glenn Kuiper's replacement, Jenny Kavnar.
She's terrible.
It's absolutely atrocious, Grant. I had
It's embarrassing.
a heart at one time, and she gives me agita, man.
It's embarrassing.
My last straw, the last straw for me was when the game went to extra innings, and at the end of the ninth, she said, "Well, we've reached the end of regulation," and in the same game, she called 2 different foul balls home runs, and the A's don't seem to care. And I, quite frankly, without a VPN and being able to watch Michael Kay and Joe Girardi last night, I would have been watching the game on mute. So I just wanted your thoughts on her. And,
I think she's the worst baseball announcer. I'll tell you, to me, I've been watching baseball since the early 60s. She's the worst baseball announcer I have ever heard.
Atrocious. Absolutely atrocious is the only word I can use to describe her.
It's embarrassing. It's embarrassing. It's embarrassing for baseball, and it's embarrassing for the franchise. And listen, this is not personal. I've never met her. I don't know her. I don't wish her ill will, but she is not qualified, in my opinion, and should not be in that chair announcing games on television for a Major League Baseball team. It's embarrassing.
It is an embarrassment. Absolute embarrassment. I had to get that off my chest. I really appreciate you and Rhino taking my call, Grant. Have a good one.
Thank you. And this is not a anti-women announcer. I have great respect for other announcers in professional sports that are female, one being Susan Waldman, who has been a guest on this show, who has been on my podcast multiple times, who I have a tremendous respect for her and her work. She's one of many that I have respect for that's a female in this industry. Jenny is not one of them. She is awful, just awful. All right. Tell you what's not awful. That's Rhino with his prize picks, who went cha-ching again last night. Good job, buddy.
Thanks, Napes. You know what's more exciting than seeing the money come in? It's seeing the community grow, like Telly, Dr. J, Kathleen, Miller Time 33, Andre, Jam Dad, all parts of the Rhino and Sacktown Prize Picks community. How do you join? Super simple. It's America's #1 daily fantasy site, Prize Picks. Not playing against sharks, not playing against each other, playing just against the stats. Pick 2 to 6 players, choose more or less on their stat line, and that's it. Let them go to work for you, like the ones I mentioned. Download the Prize Pick app today. Use the code RYNO50, RYNO50. Get $50 in free play after you play your first $5 lineup. Win or lose, you get $50 in free play. Join our community. Rhino in Sacktown is my username. Follow me there. You can see all my picks. You can copy my picks, and I can copy your picks. I'll follow you back. Tonight, we are going with Donovan Mitchell, more than 3.5 assists. Desmond Bain, more than 1.5 made 3-pointers. And Nickeil Alexander-Walker, more than 2.5 made 3-pointers. Again, download the Prize Picks app. Promo code RYNO50, $50 in free play after your first $5 lineup. That's RYNO50. Pick, predict, cash, Prize Picks.
You are doing it big time. Love to hear that. We'll come back. We've got a lot to talk about. Again, the Masters, round 1 tomorrow. The Giants have shut out the Phillies for the second day in a row. Maybe this gives them some momentum that they have been looking for early in the season. A's in New York to take on the Yankees. Game 2 of that 3-game set. We're talking about the Kings. Only 2 games left, thank goodness. And so that's where we're at. That's where we are at as we turn the calendar from the regular season to the post next week in the NBA. Right here on Fox Sports Sacramento.
Spring is here, so check your tires. When your vehicle needs the best, get Firestone Firehawks. They are built on years of racing heritage and are designed with the latest in tire technology. This month, save $100 on a set of 4 Firestone Firehawks. They provide the confidence and comfort you've come to expect from Firestone. Race into Express Tires, 7215 Watt Avenue, and find the set that's right for you. Whatever you drive a Firestone. Get them at Express Tires, 7215 Watt Avenue.
Are you or do you know a veteran or a family in need of a heating or air conditioning unit? If so, go now to dasmechanical.org and nominate yourself or someone you know to receive one with installation being donated by our neighbors at DAS Mechanical. We all know this past year has been tough for some in our community. Nick Delancey and his DAS family want to give back, and they're excited to give back, just like this, to help out a veteran or family in need. It's very simple to enter. Go to dasmechanical.org, click the 2026 HVAC System Donation tab, and fill out a very short 6-question nomination form. That's dasmechanical.org. Click the 2026 HVAC System Donation tab and fill out the short form. DAS Mechanical, family owned and proudly serving our community for years. Nominate now at dasmechanical.org. That's dasmechanical.org.
At the Y, strength means something different. It means people of all ages being together. It means you can be swishing the game-winning shot, learning to plie in first position, jabbing, crossing, and hooking a punching bag, canoeing in the lake at summer camp, donating food for your neighbors, watching your son learn about water safety in the pool. 175 years later, there's still no place like this place. Get involved at your Y. Learn more at ymca.org.
Wouldn't it be great if life came with a remote control? You know, you could hit pause when you needed to, or hit rewind. Like that time you knocked down that wasp's nest.
Uh-oh.
Or that time you forgot to roll up your windows in the car wash.
Fantastic.
Yeah, a remote control would have come in handy then. Well, life doesn't always give you time to change the outcome, but prediabetes does. With early diagnosis and a few healthy changes like managing your weight, getting active, stopping smoking, and eating healthier, you can stop prediabetes before it leads to type 2 diabetes. It's easy to learn your risk. Take the 1-minute test today at doihaveprediabetes.org. Life doesn't come with a remote control. Yikes! So you're on your own with the wasps. You have the power to take control of prediabetes. Visit doihaveprediabetes.org today. That's doihaveprediabetes.org. Brought to you by the Ad Council and its prediabetes awareness partners.
Don't forget Olden Pollinat's coming on the show today at 4 o'clock. Got a lot to talk about with OP at the start of hour number 2. So with the Kings almost at the end of maybe the most disastrous season in Sacramento Kings franchise history, what about the future? And the future is next season. You don't really look that far ahead in professional sports. And CBSSports.com, I was looking at this yesterday. Sam Quinn is the individual that wrote the story of the non-playoff teams this year, which we already know. The 10 the non-playoff teams, he ranked the teams that are unlikely to be in the show next year. And who would be number 1 on his list? The team that is most unlikely next year to be continuing on after 82 games. That's right, the Sacramento Kings. This is what he wrote. We're really just going off history here, right? In the past 20 years, the Kings have been to the playoffs once. That is a 95% miss rate. And that includes seasons when they seemingly were trying to win. It seems unlikely that Sacramento will make any genuine attempt at competing next season. The goal will likely to be to shed salary and older players. The Kings are already over next year's projected luxury tax before even factoring in their very high first-round pick and filling out the roster. DeMar DeRozan has a partial guarantee on his contract and seems like a natural candidate to be waived or traded. Domantas Sabonis was available on the trade market at the deadline and likely will be again. The Kings are moving into a rebuild, or maybe they never left the rebuild that started 2 decades ago. Either way, it feels safe to assume that they will not be a 2026 playoff team. And if you're keeping score at home, he's got Chicago as the next most unlikely, followed by Memphis, Brooklyn, New Orleans, Milwaukee, Washington, Dallas, Utah, and number 1, Indiana. With getting Tyrese Halliburton back and the rest of their team, I would agree with them being number 1. What do you think about that? 916-779-0929. That's 916-779-0929. I don't think there's a quick fix here. I don't think that the Kings are going to get a player that comes in the draft without even knowing the name of that individual that's just going to go and turn the team around. It's unlikely, okay? And all you need to do is look at Cooper Flagg with the Dallas Mavericks. The Kings are still a ways away from being to where they want to get. And I know they want to get to a championship level, but I'm talking about you got to be realistic here. You got to get into the playoffs first before you can win a championship or compete for a championship. And I just don't see it. I think there are too many teams that are in much better situations than they are that already passed them this year. I could see the Warriors coming down the ladder as one of those teams. I think the Clippers could be one of those teams which already took a step in that direction this season. I'm not sold on the Lakers. I think that, yes, if you have Luka and you have Reeves, and they're better than Sacramento, but they're not going to win a championship. Of course, the difference is they're the Lakers, and they always attract players, and they can always get players, and it's la-la land. So they have that advantage. Sacramento does not have that advantage. Ryan, you can't really disagree with those 10 teams, can you? I can't disagree with the Kings being the most unlikely without even knowing who they're going to draft. I can't argue with that.
I can.
Why?
I don't think they're 10th. I think they could easily flirt with the play-in next year. You look
based on what?
Based on the young guys that are on this team, based on the young guys that have been injured and that have not played, based on a belief that you do not have Russell Westbrook back this season, and you're going to get some return with Domantas Sabonis off of the roster.
There's only 2 young players that are going to be playing next year. Dylan Cardwell and Max Reynaud. None of the other young players are going to be playing. Who's going to be playing? And we don't know about
Keegan Murray, Keegan Murray,
I don't consider
DeAndre
Keegan Murray a young player anymore. I consider him. He's in a second contract already.
Okay, so let me change. Younger core. Okay, I think that's the better way to put it. I don't think you'll have as big of a logjam at some of the positions. I think roles will be more defined, and I just think that they will, if they make in the linchpin here is 100% what that Sabonis deal looks like.
Yep.
Because if you are able to do that the right way and you can retain Precious Achiuwa, assuming you don't get a forward that is in the draft, I think they might be all right. I mean, Grant,
I don't see it. They first of all, Keegan Murray has got a ways to go before we can just pencil him in as like, oh yeah, that's the answer. Okay, let's just call it the way it is. Well, it is, right? He's defensively, we know what he does every night, and very rarely do we ever go on the post-game show and say anything negatively about Keegan Murray's defense, right? It's the most consistent part of any player on the team other than DeRozan's mid-range jumper.
And that is my exact point. I'm not even thinking about everything you said about Keegan's offensive game, completely fair. But his defensive game changes the way the Kings approach their defense. They don't have to shade towards the other team's best player as much. They don't have to be up in their rotations. You can have guys that hang off a little bit and can kind of do a shadow if they want to. And I just think just from that standpoint, it's going to make it a little bit better because you can mark up the other team's best player on most nights.
Right now, they don't have a point guard, so that's number one on the shopping list, whether it's through the draft. And if it's through the draft, in all likelihood, that guy's not going to take you to that level of play, in my opinion. So who's going to be the guy? I'm with you on Westbrook. You know how I feel about that. He can't be on the roster next year. I can't imagine Zach LaVine not being on the roster next year. Agree?
Agree.
I think it's more likely than unlikely that DeRozan will not be on the team at the start of the season.
I'm 50-50 there.
Okay. I'm more unlikely than likely. I'm more unlikely than likely that Sabonis will not be on the roster.
I'm with you.
More unlikely, right? He will not be on the roster. So you're going to add a first-round draft pick, right?
Yep.
You're going to add a player that we didn't really see this year in DeAndre Hunter.
Right.
Who I'm not crazy about Hunter, but at least we know he can play. He's an NBA caliber player. I've never been crazy about his game. I think it has holes in it, but he can play. And he's going to be, whether he starts or comes off the bench, Rhino, he's going to be one of the main 8 guys.
I'm not convinced he will be on the roster.
Okay.
He's a toss-up for me because could you, with a team, because he's expiring, DeRozan's expiring, could that be attractive for a team that is in contention to get a DeRozan scoring, but then have to take on the back half of that? If you're a team that you know you're not competing well, I guess maybe if you're a team also looking to shed salary for the next season, I don't know how that one plays out. But you know you have Max, you know you have Keegan, you know you have Neek.
Neek is a guy that, to me, is a bench player. He's not a starter.
He's not a starter. I'm with you with that. I don't.
Which is okay.
Yep.
There's nothing wrong with that.
Where's Devin Carter? Is he on the roster next year?
No.
Okay. I'm with you there. So I think
Who are they better than of the top 10 teams? I mean, if you look at the teams right now, without even projecting what the draft is going to look like or anything else, like, who are they better than that's ahead of them?
I think they could easily be better than Chicago, Brooklyn.
No, in the West. In the West.
Memphis, I think they could be better than, especially if Memphis gets rid of their problem child in Ja Morant.
Yep.
I think Utah's going to be good next year.
Yeah, I think Utah passes Sacramento. I would agree with you, and we don't know what their pick's going to be. I think New Orleans is better than Sacramento. I think that Dallas is going to be better than Sacramento. I think Utah is going to be better than Sacramento. Memphis, I'm with you. I don't think the Warriors could be better than Sacramento. I'm not sold on the Clippers, but the teams ahead of Sacramento right now are Golden State, Portland, LA, and Phoenix. I'm not even going to get into the top 6 because they're not going to be better than any of those teams. Are they going to be better than Phoenix? No. Are they going to be better than Portland? I don't think so. Are they going to be better than the Clippers? Maybe. Warriors? Maybe. But they're not going to be better, in my opinion, than New Orleans or Dallas. And I'm with you. I think Utah has passed them by.
Yes, no doubt about it. And here's the other thing. I really believe that a hammer's going to drop on the Clippers. So what's that going to look like? How's that?
So remove them. Take them out of the list. Just take them and bury them. All right?
Okay. I think you're better than Memphis, and you're chasing Portland if you're Sacramento.
You're not better than Dallas next year.
I know. I'm defaulting with you.
I understand. But let's take the Clippers out and put Dallas in there. Then that leaves you, let's take the Warriors out. All right. Do you think, do you like the Jazz where they're at right now, or the Kings, without even knowing what the draft's going to look like?
The Jazz. No doubt.
So right then and there, who are the Kings going to finish ahead of in the top 10? Because they're not better than Phoenix, and I don't think they've gone ahead of Portland. So that's it. There's no more room. We just named the 10 teams.
You know what, Grant? They could easily get ahead of New Orleans. For whatever reason, New Orleans has talent, but they just can't put it together. What's going to happen with Zion? Is he going to go to a different conference? I know, right?
What does that sound like? Let's see.
Does that, how do you say his name? Kaon something fall into that category?
Right?
Yeah, I just, Grant, we can look at these teams on paper, and then the reality of the NBA season hits and things change, specifically injuries,
yes,
drama, distractions. So you have to put it into that context. But I do believe if things break the right way, the Kings could be flirting with the 10 seed next year.
I don't think the Kings can flirt with the 10 seed if Doug Christie comes back as coach. I think they need a new voice. I think they need a new direction. I think they need an established veteran coach that has been through this, that understands what it takes. And there are some candidates out there, which I'm not going to mention right now until there's a vacancy, because I don't think that's right. But that is the first big decision in the offseason that the Kings need to make. And it needs to be made on Monday or Tuesday of next week.
I think
it needs to be made early next week.
As I sit today, I think it's more likely Doug Christie will be back next year than unlikely.
Okay, I'm just telling you right now, on the 8th of April or whatever day it is, that if he is back next year, we are going to go through the exact same thing, hopefully with many less injuries, all right? Fewer injuries, I should say, to be grammatically correct, than this year. But I think that there's a can of worms that have been apparent this year that aren't going to go away. And I believe that is something that is a necessity for this team in this offseason. I think it's a necessity. Whether it will happen or not, I don't know. I'm not campaigning for it. That's not my job.
Yeah.
My job is to talk about it. But there have been alarming issues that I've seen since taking over from Mike Brown. The most apparent was last year in the play-in game against Dallas. It was blatant. It was a coaching clinic by Jason Kidd over Doug. And I thought that the training camp this year and Doug's messaging was as bad as I've ever heard from an NBA head coach. I thought it was somebody that was speaking completely without thinking. And by without thinking, I'm talking about, and you've made this comment many times before, Doug was trying to implement things that could not have worked with the roster that he had been given by Scott Perry.
Right.
You had mentioned that multiple times.
Yeah.
And Doug, for his basketball, quote unquote, knowledge, should have known better, but he lives in a bubble and he has blinders on. He is a very stubborn person. And I don't mean that in a negative way, the way it might sound here on the radio. He's stubborn to a fault because he's so set in his ways that it's my way or no way. And I don't believe that he has the ability, okay, to adapt to a roster. Everything has to be his way based on what he believes and his philosophy, and he does not have the ability to adapt. And the coaching this year, or excuse me, the non-coaching of Russell Westbrook this year was a travesty. The rotation throughout the entire season, even with all of the injuries, of what happened to Keon Ellis and Malik Monk was a travesty. It was awful. The return of Sabonis from an injury was as mishandled as you could mishandle a veteran player of his caliber. We can just go on and on and on. And I'm not really going to add last night's snafu. It's a mistake. Listen, He's not the first coach to make a mistake. He's not going to be the last. I'm not going to blow that out of proportion.
For sure.
It doesn't look good because it's being talked about all over the NBA media. But you know what? He makes mistakes. So what? Guess what? Every coach makes mistakes. It's not the end of the world to me with that.
I guess also the way that I look at it, because I said this even when we knew Doug was going to be coming back this season, this was high-level stuff. You could put together 3 of your favorite best coaches of all time, and they would have been pounding their head against the chalkboard on trying to figure this situation out, both on the court and then the dynamics behind the scenes with the organization. And I wonder how much of a curve is going to be considered there, because I am a believer this probably wouldn't have ended up much better had you had one of those veteran coaches.
See,
If Mike Woodson
you still wouldn't have been a top 10 team. That I would agree with you, but I think it would have been better. It would have been more organized. It would have been more functional than dysfunctional. And so for those reasons, and there are others, and we'll talk about this. But
yeah.
That's and again, I always go back to square one. The coach was not hired by the new general manager. And Scott Perry's been around the block a couple times, and Scott Perry's not stupid. Scott Perry understands that in order for this team to get to where he wants, he needs a different coach. He needs a better coach. He needs a more experienced coach. He needs a legitimate NBA coach.
Okay,
he knows that.
Let me ask you this, and maybe we can get into it next segment. That considered, how do you feel like those two have worked together this season?
I think they've worked together fine. But I don't know what's going on behind the scenes, but I think they've worked together fine. That's not an issue right now, but there are a lot of things that are going on behind the scenes that we're not privy to, like all organizations. We'll talk more about this, Olden Polonais at 4 o'clock. All of that, plus your phone calls at 916-779-0929. This is the Grant Napear Show on Fox Sports Sacramento.
Aftershock, the West Coast's largest rock, metal, and punk festival, returns to Sacramento this October with My Chemical Romance. Tool. Limp Bizkit. Pierce the Veil. Plus, Suicide Boys, Queens of the Stone Age, The Offspring, A Day to Remember, Wu-Tang Clan, Sublime, Danny Elfman, Baby Metal, Public Enemy, Circa Survive, and so many more. 4 days, 135 plus bands, 5 stages. Aftershock takes over Discovery Park October 1st through 4th. My Chemical Romance, Tool, Limp Bizkit, Pierce the Veil. All 4 days, single day, and premium passes are on sale now, starting at only $1 down. Get yours at AftershockFestival.com.
Tune in Saturday mornings for Financial Talk That Matters. It's the Matter Financial Report with Michael Matter, talking assets, income planning, insurance, retirement, and more. Your money matters. Listen Saturdays at 7 a.m. on Fox Sports Radio Sacramento. Michael Matter offers investment advisory services through Gradient Advisors, LLC, 877-885-0508, an SEC-registered investment advisor. Matter Financial Group is not a registered investment advisor, nor an affiliate of Gradient Advisors. Insurance offered through Michael Matter, independent agent.
It's the All Things Legal Show, heard every Saturday morning from 8 to 9. Join your host, Craig Ashton, with an entertaining and eclectic view of all things legal. Saturday mornings from 8 to 9. Remember, for the best advice, don't think twice. Call Ashton and Price.
Spring is here, so check your tires. When your vehicle needs the best, get Firestone Firehawks. They are built on years of racing heritage and are designed with the latest in tire technology. This month, save $100 on a set of 4 Firestone Firehawks. They provide the confidence and comfort you've come to expect from Firestone. Race into Expert Tires and Brakes, 5810 Auburn Boulevard, and find the set that's right for you. Whatever you drive a Firestone. Available at Expert Tires and Brakes, 5810 Auburn Boulevard.
Okay, we are running a car drive right now to help veterans all across America. So if you have an old car, truck, or van, even a motorcycle or an RV sitting around, you can right now give it away and help the vets. They really need your help. And your car will help support the vets and their families. And guess what? You even get a tax donation. Plus, we'll even come and pick up your car for free. And all you've got to do is pick up your phone right now and make a free call. Now is the perfect time to do something good for the vets. Give back to the vets right now for all they've done for this country. And your old car can really help them. So call the Veterans Car Donation Program right now for free pickup of your vehicle. Help the vets and help your taxes at the same time. Call right now.
800-598-0539. 800-598-0539. 800-598-0539. That's 800-598-0539.
Homeowners, for any electrical project you need done, trust the good dudes at Gabroods. Locally owned, 5-star service experts, always transparent prices and solutions. Say goodbye to your electrical issues. Call Gabroods or visit Gabroods.com. G-U-B-R-U-D-S.
You served behind the desk. You served in combat.
You did 4 years and got out.
You were drafted. You gave 20 years.
You gave exactly what your country needed.
You are a veteran.
You are a veteran.
You are a veteran. and you deserve support.
If you're struggling with life after service, don't wait. Reach out.
Find resources at va.gov/reach.
Brought to you by the United States Department of Veterans Affairs and the Ad Council.
So when you look at the schedule, the biggest game this week in the NBA that does not involve the Sacramento Kings playing in terms of the lottery on May 10th is the game that's going to be played tomorrow night in Brooklyn. The Nets have now won 2 in a row, and they are hosting the Indiana Pacers. Okay? Why is this important? Well, if you look at the standings, you look at the Brooklyn Nets, they are 20-59. Sacramento is 21-59. Indiana's got 61 losses, Washington 62, so we're not going to include them in this conversation. If you're a Kings fan, you are rooting big time for the Brooklyn Nets to win that game tomorrow. Now, keep in mind that when the Kings next play, it's against the Golden State Warriors in their final home game of the year, and it is the night after the Warriors are home against the LA Lakers. And you saw what happened last night. By the way, Ryan, you were 100% correct when you gave the Kings a good chance to win the game on the show yesterday, and you thought it would be close for a while and into the fourth quarter, and you were right. But keep this in mind. Your next game against the Warriors, you're catching them on a second night of a back-to-back, and you do not want to win that game, and you almost won the game last night.
Yeah, and, these last games for them is just about getting Steph Curry right. It's getting him adjusted with the rest of that group. But, yeah, you want to, if you're looking at it that way, you do want to lose out, but you also want this team to be competitive. You want to see growth in the areas that will be, part of the Kings' future for the next couple of years.
Here's the other part of what the Warriors are doing. They've been around the block. They know they're a multiple championship team. Even if they were to get in to the show, the top 8, they're in a position where they can only play Oklahoma City in the first round. And guess what? They're not going to win a game against Oklahoma City. So they're going to be done, even if they make the playoffs in the first round. I don't even know what you're going to get from the Warriors. I really don't. I just, you don't want the Kings to win this game coming up, and then you're at Portland. But that Brooklyn, Indiana game tomorrow, the Nets, as I said, they've won 2 in a row. They beat the Bucks last night, and here they are taking on the Pacers, who, tell me what's going on in Indiana when you look at what they've done, okay? They have a record of 18-61, and we talk about tanking. I don't know if you've watched them play, but I'm like, good Lord. They've lost 3 in a row. They're on the road. I got to believe Brooklyn's going to win that game tomorrow, Ryan. I don't see Indiana winning that game.
Yeah, no, I'm with you. I think Brooklyn should win that. I don't know what the spread is off the top of my head. I wonder how, if you're Portland, you're going to approach that last game against the Kings. My guess is probably going to rest some guys, right?
They're going to try to win the game because it's the last home game. It's fan appreciation night, and they're going to try to win the game.
You think so? Because aren't they locked in pretty much to the 7?
They are locked in to the 9th, but they are only,
okay.
I shouldn't say locked in. Lock's not the right word. They're actually only 1 game back of 8th, which would be huge.
Yeah,
because if you lose that game, you get a chance to play again. So this could be a very big game for them.
Okay. Well, if you're hoping for the Kings to lose out, that would be a good thing.
Yeah.
What you don't want to see, Grant, worst case scenario is an injury in these last 2 games for the Kings. You can't go into the summer that way.
Not a bad injury, correct. Totally agree. Yeah, totally agree. That would mean Max Reynaud first and foremost.
Spot on.
Yeah. 916-779-0929. So 2 games left. Warriors then at Portland. Now, I would agree with you if Portland is already can't move or they're in a position where they're locked in, then yes, I would see them not playing a lot of their guys. But I think Fan Appreciation Day, with where they're at, that might be a game they have to win, and all the games start at the same time on Sunday.
Yeah, what do you think it's going to be like at the G1C on Friday night?
In terms of the percentage of Warrior fans versus Kings fans?
I mean, just, general atmosphere, last home game of the season.
It's the Warriors and the Kings. I think it will be very good.
Should be.
I think you'll have a pretty big crowd because you'll have a lot of Warriors fans there. Listen, you know this and I know this. Like, there are certain players in the league that you would want to watch regardless of what the standings are, and that player is Steph Curry.
I'm with you. Although I thought some of the calls last night, him getting fouled on threes, a couple of those were very questionable.
Yeah. And by the way, I could see Steve Kerr not even playing him.
I don't think you can. I don't think you can.
You tell that to Steve Kerr. You know, he's the most egregious. What word am I looking for? He is exhibit A of what's wrong with the NBA when it comes to tanking. He's exhibit A. It used to be Pop. Now it's Steve Kerr.
You're not wrong, but with Steph Curry, you're ramping him up right now.
Steph Curry, you already know what he can do. He's already getting games. Steph Curry, the most important thing for him is to be good to go. And he doesn't need to play in every game at this juncture of his career, regardless of how many games he's missed. He's now played, 2 games or 3 games? Give him one more game. He doesn't need more than that. He's Steph Curry, for crying out loud.
Okay. He's missed basically the entire second half of the season, or at least since the All-Star break.
Here's one for you from the 916. Just got on. Have you talked about the NBA investigating the Kings for the foul on Seth Curry? Well, thank you for joining the show. Sorry you're a little bit late. What do you think? What would you think if you had to take a guess? What would you guess?
Spicy today.
If you guessed yes, you are correct. I spent the first 10 minutes of the show on it. If you get a chance, go back and listen to the beginning of the show when you can. Great to have you on now. We appreciate your support. But yes, of course I talked about it.
But since you're just joining, and like Grant said, thank you for joining, we did not get to Iman Shumpert's take from a player's perspective on tanking. This is what he said this morning on ESPN.
I won't endorse it. Like, I don't get behind anything like that. There was moments, and you know what, I'm not even gonna name them out, but there was moments on 2 organizations where it was like I didn't understand what was being done with me, and then I didn't understand why we were doing this. I'm like, it's clear as day what the decisions need to be for us, for this team to be better. And I started to realize toward the end of the season, when you just at home, you're not playing in the playoffs, you start realizing what's going on and how much stuff goes on behind the scenes that has nothing to do with the players. This has everything to do with strategy.
Yeah. Again, he's not really saying anything that we don't already know. That's already a known fact. This is not something that just came out of the genie bottle, to use that expression, Rhino. This has been going on for years. It's just that, to me, it became worse this year because of how good the draft looks and how many potentially good players are at the top of the draft this year. And for that reason, I think that this has been the worst year ever in the NBA as far as tanking goes. Hold on to that thought. Yep, hold on to that thought, because I'm going to talk about this with OP, and then we're going to get into it next hour, because I want to talk to you about Village Financial Group and their expertise when it comes to your real estate needs. That's right. Village Financial Group. They are awesome. All right? Whether you are buying a home, selling a home, whether you are looking for a home equity line of credit, Spence, broker owner of Village Financial Group, he's the man. He began his family-owned business back in 2000. I've known him since then. He will do a phenomenal job for you. Their business model is like a white glove boutique shop experience from the start line to the finish line and everything in between. That's what Spence and Village Financial Group will do for you. Call or text Spence at 916-805-4868. That's 916-805-4868. Go online to vfgloans.com, and you can look at thousands of listings available for purchase. It makes sense to call Spence at 916-805-4868. Village Financial Group, looking out for your best interest. Olden Polonies next, right here on Fox Sports Sacramento.
Aftershock, the West Coast's largest rock, metal, and punk festival, returns to Sacramento this October with My Chemical Romance. Tool, Limp Bizkit, Pierce the Veil, plus Suicide Boys, Queens of the Stone Age, The Offspring, A Day to Remember, Wu-Tang Clan, Sublime, Danny Elfman, Baby Metal, Public Enemy, Circus Survive, and so many more. 4 days, 135 plus bands, 5 stages. Aftershock takes over Discovery Park October 1st through 4th. My Chemical Romance, Tool, Limp Bizkit, Pierce the Veil. All 4-day, single day, and premium passes are on sale now, starting at only $1 down. Get yours at AftershockFestival.com.
It's Rhino inviting you to join me on America's #1 daily fantasy site, Prize Picks. What I love about Prize Picks is real sports knowledge meets real payouts. You're not competing against sharks, just the numbers. In basketball, points, rebounds, assists, baseball, hits, total bases. One swing can cash your pick. Golf fans, birdies, strokes, and round-by-round performance. Every shot counts and every pick matters. It's simple. Choose 2 to 6 players, pick more or less on their stat projection, and let them win the night for you. Download the Prize Picks app today using the code RHINO50 to get $50 in free play after you play your first $5 lineup. That's code RHINO, RYNO50, to get $50 in free play after your first $5 lineup. One app, over 100 sports. Pick, predict, cash, Prize Picks.
Have you ever tried to buy gold and silver and felt like you were talking to a used car salesman? That's because the precious metals industry is like the Wild West. Salesmen can say pretty much anything or make any promise they want without repercussion. But Genesis Gold Group is different. They're a faith-driven Christian precious metals company and believe in educating their customers, not pressuring them for a quick sale. Genesis Gold Group focuses on customer service, not sleazy marketing. Genesis Gold Group is named after the first book of the Bible for a reason. Proper stewardship of wealth is their specialty. Find out why they've earned a 5 out of 5 rating through the Better Business Bureau and how they can help you secure your wealth or retirement through physical precious metals. Call right now to learn more.
800-497-8464. 800-497-8464. 800-497-8464. That's 800-497-8464.
Tell your friends. Grant's back. Grant Napear is back on the Sacramento airwaves right here. KSAC 890 AM Olivehurst. K284 CM 104.7 FM Sacramento.
Good to have you with me. Second hour of the Grant Napear Show, Fox Sports Sacramento. Each and every Wednesday at this time, we talk with former NBA player Olden Polonies. Love the conversation that we have. OP, how are you?
I'm great, Grant. How are you?
I'd be a lot better if you could teach NBA and college players, even though it wasn't your forte necessarily because of the position you played, but if somebody could teach our players better fundamentals and how to shoot the basketball. I mean, I'm watching a championship game on Monday night, and yes, it was competitive, and yes, we saw a defense, but I mean, the three-point shooting, the perimeter shooting was atrocious. I waited all year to watch that. Come on. And we see it in the NBA, too, all the time.
Well, that's the whole thing I've been saying in the last couple of years, and if people try to blame Steph Curry, and I kept telling folks, don't blame Steph Curry. Steph Curry works on his game. He works on shooting. Ponce Nipple works on shooting. You're not, just because you can make a three doesn't make you a three-point shooter. And that's what these guys don't understand. I was open a lot of times at the three-point line, but that was not my thing. I knew better. One of the things that I noticed with UConn was that whatever that offense they were running, they need to throw that away. And again, they got to the finals, but they got to the finals on a bum play because Caden Boozer made a mistake because Duke should have won that game. So with that being said, you got lucky and got in, but at the same time, they don't run an offensive scheme that's conducive to them being where they were. And it was just amazing that the adjustments weren't made. Danny Hurley did not make the adjustments he needed to, do some pin downs, with the guys coming out instead of everybody just floating on top. It was just absurd watching that.
I don't know if you saw what happened last night in the Kings-Warriors game, but let me reset this for you. So the Kings are up by 1 point with 3 minutes and 15 seconds left to go in the fourth quarter, and the Kings are in the penalty. And the Kings head coach, Doug Christie, is yelling and telling Doug McDermott to intentionally foul Seth Curry. And then Curry obviously is an outstanding free throw shooter. And so now the league is investigating this because of all of the tanking we hear. And we've talked about this a lot over the last couple of weeks, and everyone knows that tanking is going on. But to me, this is just a coaching error, and that's what people are speculating. I don't know why, but Doug was not asked about it during the post-game press conference, but it's all over the news today. And again, the NBA is officially looking into this. But, I mean, it's a coaching mistake. That's how I see it. Do you see it differently?
I definitely see it that way. But at the same time, here's what I'm going to say. Either way, it's bad for Doug Christie.
Yes, it is.
So either
yes,
way,
it is.
it's bad for Doug Christie.
Correct.
Because if it's a coaching mistake, you have 15 to 20 assistant coaches, and the guy, all he does is look at replays.
Right.
And yet you don't know how many timeouts you have? How many fouls the team has? That's absurd to me. So either way, and if it wasn't a coaching mistake, then you guys were intensely trying to tank. So either way, it's bad. That's what I'm saying. This league is absurd to me right now, the way things, and I don't want to be knocking people because I wish everybody well in their jobs. I don't ever want to wish bad on anybody. But at the same time, man, y'all need to stop doing these hires just to hire somebody. Get people that know what they're doing and get it right. I don't care who they are, what color, whatever. Just get it right. Do blind hiring.
Thank you.
Whoever's resume stacks up the best, that's who gets the job.
Thank you. You know what I love about you? You have common sense. Common sense has left this society. I'm with you 100%, and I've been saying as much. It's common sense, OP. Common sense.
That's all it is. But common sense died about 30 years ago.
Oh, my gosh. All right. Cade Cunningham is coming back for the Pistons. Put this in the perspective for me as somebody, even though you didn't have a lot of injuries, but how long do you think it takes a player who's been out for a while with an injury at this juncture of the season? We've only got 2 or 3 games left for most teams. How much run does a player need before they're feeling like, okay, I'm 100%, I'm good to go?
Well, first of all, there will be no 100% in basketball, in sports, period. But at the same time, you got to understand, a lot of these guys, the injuries, he didn't really have an injury. Something happened. It was more, his lung collapsed.
Yes.
So that's a freak thing, to happen to an athlete, a collapsed lung.
Sure it is.
But, you got to be careful with that. But at the same time, a lot of these guys, they come back early. They're ready to go. If the team, when they decide to release them and let them play, that's the topic that we need to be having, because there's a lot of guys that are ready to go, a week, a day, 2 weeks after injuries, because we see them on the bench jumping up and down, but they have a knee injury or whatever. But I'm like, wait, how are you still jumping up and down celebrating a made shot? And so, or how are you able to practice, but when it's game time, you don't play? So it's all that stuff that goes into it. But,
all right, so he's missed 11 games, and you're right. It's a different type of an injury, and there's not a lot of practice that goes on at the end of the season. But you're right, his injury is so different because it wasn't really an injury. It was, you know what I mean. It's something we don't really ever hear about in terms of basketball. But he's the number one. I mean, let's face it, he's the most important part of that team, and they're the number one seed. And I guess it goes back to this, like, how do you look at this Pistons team, assuming that Cade Cunningham comes back and he's fine? I'm with you. There's not a player in the league right now that's 100%. But do you think the Pistons have a legitimate chance to make it out of the East?
Oh, definitely. That's the team I picked. And I'm not always right, Grant, but I'm never wrong.
Yeah. You like them better than Boston? You like them better than the Celtics?
I like them. Yes, I do. I mean, well, only because I picked them, so I have to ride it out, But Tatum coming back this year was not expected by me. I thought they were going to just sit him out and let him just come back next year. So he puts that wrinkle back into my pick. And so if there's any other team, because I'm not sold on the Knicks or the Cavaliers or anybody else, I'm sold on Detroit definitely, and I'm definitely buying on the Boston Celtics.
Yeah. Well, what's good about that is the only way they can face each other is if they both win their first two rounds, and that would be in Eastern Conference Finals. And you know what? That would be a heck of an Eastern Conference Finals. And it says something about Detroit. 3 years ago, they were the Sacramento Kings. They were below Sacramento. They've drafted well. They've gotten players to come in there well. They've got the right coach. They've done a nice job building that team back up. I mean, Detroit for a long time, as you know, OP, has been down in the dumps, and now they're number one in the East. I give that organization a lot of credit.
Hey, Grant, can you repeat what you just said again?
Yeah. I mean,
that's all it is. I
Yeah.
posted something today, and and I don't know what people are going to think about it, but I made a point because they were trying to. The tweet was, who's a bust.
Say that again.
What a lot like players that were bust. Number one picks. They had Purvis Ellison, they had LaRue Martin, all these players, and I was like, I disagree because these gentlemen made it to the pinnacle. But at the end of my tweet, I put, does Luka Doncic become Luka Doncic if he's drafted by the Kings? Meaning there's more that go into it than just the player. There's the GM, there's the scouts, there's the coaching, there's the team. There's so many other components that go into a player becoming successful. Luka ends up in that, or even if he stayed in Atlanta instead of the Trae Young trade.
Or Phoenix. Phoenix had the number one pick. What do you think would have happened if the Phoenix Suns, who had the number one pick, took Luka instead of DeAndre Ayton?
Exactly. And that's why I want people to understand there's more that goes into it. So stop knocking players for being bust. They're not bust. It's just things didn't work out the way you wanted to work out. No.
Okay, I'm going to take exception with you. Markelle Fultz to me is a bust.
Markelle Fultz had an injury, number one. Number two, again, player development. People don't know how to teach basketball. They just bring guys on and they expect you to be good. When I played, we actually trained. We had people that actually knew basketball. They brought in this whole analytics thing, and analytics doesn't teach you how to play basketball. It just shows you where you take your most shots.
Okay, but there are players in all sports, whether you want to go back to Jamarcus Russell being the number one pick in the NFL or other number one picks in the NFL that have just, for whatever reason, whether it's the organization they were drafted by or whatever, they either work or they don't work. In the NBA, and I'm going to use Markelle Fultz as an example because I disagree with you. He had an opportunity to play on several different teams, and he's been a disappointment, and he's been, for where he was taken in the draft, a major underachiever during his tenure. And I consider that, I don't know if I consider it a bust. To me, a bust, OP, is a guy that's drafted and 3 years later or 4 years later is out of the league. Like Thomas Robinson, that number 4, that's a bust. Jackson with the Phoenix Suns, taken 4th, that's a bust. Like, to me, that's how I define a bust. Like Marvin Bagley was taken 2nd by the Kings. He's still in the league and at times starts. Was it a bad pick? Yes, it was a bad pick. Is it a bust? You know, it's hard for me to call a guy a bust that's going to end up playing 10 plus years in the league. But that's my definition.
Exactly.
What about yours?
But at the same time, who was doing the scouting? You got to know who to pick. I remember the Thomas Robinson pick, and I was like, "There's no way in hell you guys are drafting this guy that high."
Yep.
And so, to me, that's what I'm saying. A lot of that stuff come into play, but we don't knock the scouting.
Great point.
Scouting team. We don't knock the coaches, the multiple. You know, if you give a guy 6 coaches in 3 years, that's going to be a recipe for disaster as well. So that's what I'm saying. So there's so many different aspects to this than just the player themselves. And they also have to take accountability of not working on their games as well. And so it's just more than one thing is the point I'm making. And to your point, in football, Geno Smith, bust, you know, he was a potential bust or whatever.
Yes.
Because he was supposed to be a first-round pick.
Yes.
And then he dropped in the draft, and then he goes and becomes, you know, a star player, you know, in Seattle. And it's like now he's looked upon as a hell of a player.
Yeah.
So it's like he managed to turn his thing around.
Yeah, when he went to Seattle, he turned it around. You just made a very interesting point about scouting. I want to go back to the Thomas Robinson draft. He was taken, I think, 5th, 1 pick ahead of Damon Stoudemire. Gee, you think they made a mistake there. But the draft that I remember, because I had Scott Pollard on, Scott's never been wrong with any player coming out of Kansas when I've asked him how he feels they're going to do in the draft. And before the draft, I had Scott come on and goes, he won't be able to play in the NBA. He doesn't have a position. Don't take him. But you know what? He was high on almost every draft board in the NBA. So my question to you is, how do so many scouts whose job it is to watch players, whether they're in Europe or here in this country, that's their job and their sole job, and yet so many there are mistakes made every year. My question is, what is it about? What are the intangibles that they're missing here, OP?
Well, I'm going to answer that question this way. Everybody wants a job. Nobody wants to work.
Okay.
These scouts have the job, but they don't work. They sit in the hotel rooms. Half the time, they scout from the TV, from the hotel room. You know, the TV, and it's like, dude, do your job. You have to break it down. You cannot just watch one game because this guy had one game. It's an offshoot game. You got to know everything about this guy. You got to go back to high school. I knew in high school Greg Oden was going to be a problem with injuries because he was hurt in high school.
Yeah.
So you guys who are getting paid the money didn't see this? I asked the question, how is a high school player getting hurt so much in high school?
Yeah, that's unheard of.
To me.
Yep.
And you expect him to come to the NBA and he's going to be healthy all of a sudden? It doesn't work that way.
So why would I think that Darren Peterson, who played half the games at Kansas for a variety of reasons, why would I think that he's going to just step onto an NBA team and play, 70 to 75 to 82 games? Like, doesn't he enter with red flags?
There's a semi-flag. I think it's more pink than red. It's only because he's leaving the game. Yeah.
I haven't heard that one before. A pink flag.
It's on
Okay.
his own accord that he's stepping out. And that's what messed everybody. Like Bill Self was like, wait a minute, I didn't even know he was hurt. And so it's like, no, he's taking himself out. He needs to learn how to play through some of that, the pain or whatever he's getting, And so to me, I look at him, though, skill-wise, I mean, I don't think there's anybody better than him skill-wise because he makes scoring look easy. And I think for him, it's more of that. That's probably going to be more of a knock for him. It's the fact that the game was so easy for him in high school and college, and then he's going to get a rude awakening in the NBA.
Yeah.
So that is something I would watch out for. But at the same time, his skill set is making me say I can still take a chance on him.
You know what, OP? You've played with a lot of skilled players before. I always use the story of Billy Owens. I remember watching Billy Owens when he came to Sacramento. His skill set was through the roof, but his heart was the size of an olive. His work ethic, he didn't have a motor. I need guys that live and die playing every day. I want guys with the motor. I want guys that would play for free. I want guys that will play outdoor on a court in the rain when it's, 38 degrees. All right. Like those are the guys I want. I don't want a guy that's highly skilled that I have to worry about his motor. That I can't have that.
Oh, definitely. I do agree to a certain extent because the motor is key. I want the guys that are going to work, and that's where you got to go and find those guys like a Draymond, who was a second-round pick, not a highly skilled guy, but he worked so hard. He became Defensive Player of the Year. He's won championships. Nikola Jokic, second rounder, came out of nowhere. Those are the people I'm going to listen to, the people that are able to spot those guys. And so to me, it's easy to go get the prima donnas, the Billy Owens, as you mentioned, all these, the marquee guys, because they've shown you. But those guys don't work hard all the time, and that's a problem. If you've been kissing my butt my whole life, what is my motivation to get better?
I'm not saying this to butter you up, but isn't that something that you're probably the most proud of at your career? That you always had the motor? No, I'm serious now. I'm not trying to say this to embarrass you.
I'm serious too, Grant.
But like,
I knew what my talent level was.
Right, exactly.
I knew my talent level. It didn't stack up with Shaq and Patrick Ewing, David Robinson. But I knew one thing: they were not going to outwork me.
Right.
None of them.
Exactly. And I love players like that. I love. Again, I say this because he's one of my dear friends, but it was the same thing with Scott Pollard. He was like you. And I mean, like he got every single drop out of the sponge, right? Like it was his work ethic.
And I hated playing against Scott.
Why?
I hated playing against people that were like me. I'm like, man, give me a superstar. I need a day off.
No, there's a lot of truth to that, isn't it? What was it about Scott that you hated playing against?
He played just as hard as I did. And that was hard. It's like he's boxing me out. I'm not getting the easy rebound. Dennis Rodman, I hate that, man. This dude, he was skilled and he worked hard. That's why he's a Hall of Famer.
Yeah.
I don't like players like that. Alonzo Mourning, I hated. But you give me Shaq, you give me Patrick, a bunch of them guys that are just going to see me and like, I got an easy night. No, I'm getting my career high.
Yeah. I love it. I love that. That is fabulous. Oh my gosh. You just mentioned some amazing names. You played in a heck of an era, man. You really did. When the game was different and the big men were different. The game has changed so much. But when you played, no, the big man was the game.
Oh yeah, definitely. And I've said this all the time. It's like my first game was against Kareem. I remember first 5 or so games I had Kareem, Hakeem, Patrick Ewing, Carmel. I'm like, wait a minute, man. What is going on here? These are nothing but Hall of Famers. Jack Sigma, all Hall of Famers. Every night there was somebody. And then Dikembe came in, then Alonzo, then Shaq came in. David Robinson after his 2-year stint in the military. It's like they just kept getting bigger and better. And I was like, wow. But it was fun. That was the heyday, it was inside basketball, inside out, not outside outside.
How many times did Dikembe block one of your shots?
Oh, please. I'll tell you this. The greatest line ever uttered by a coach was Bernie Bickerstaff, coaching the Denver Nuggets. He said, if Olden Polynice played against Dikembe, he'd be a Hall of Famer.
Come on.
All my career highs are against Dikembe Mutombo.
Is that right? Seriously?
Rest in peace, Dikembe, but all my career highs are against
Is that right? What do you attribute that to? Seriously, because he was a great defensive player.
He was, but I knew to hit him dead in his chest. It's hard to block the shot when you're trying to catch your breath.
You know what? Are you serious? Your career highs are against Dikembe?
I kid you not. When he played for Atlanta, I had 25 rebounds in, I think it was 29 or 30 minutes.
Wow.
Yeah, and 30 points when he was in Denver. So all my career highs are against Dikembe.
How about that? I was not aware of that. That's saying something, man. That's big time. Wow. See,
I wish I could have played against him every night.
That's unbelievable to me. Wow. That's incredible. And of course, you remember when they were the 8th seed and they were the first team to be the number 1 seed in the playoffs. Were you on that Sonics team?
I was not on that team. Hey, Grant, Can I tell you something right quick?
Yeah.
I swear on my kids' lives, my mother's soul, my father's soul, on everything. You know me, I don't lie.
No, you don't.
If I struggled, I kid you not. Whenever I struggled, right, I would look on the schedule and to see when do I play Dikembe, my right-handed guy.
My gosh.
I was like, oh my God, I'm going to turn around in this game. You know, no matter what's going on throughout the season, I know I got a game where I can turn it around.
You are the only player in the history of the NBA that probably did that, looked at the schedule and goes, man, I can't wait to go against the Dikembe so I can have a big game. Seriously.
Wait. Yeah.
Wow.
And it always worked. I always had a big game. Always.
That's unbelievable. Incredible. Well, thank goodness the playoffs start next week. I mean, we got the play-in games, which are now the necessary part of the basketball calendar. But at least the regular season's over and we can stop talking about tanking. Thank goodness.
Oh, man. Yeah. You know, Draymond Green last night made a great point. It's like, you know, they stuck on 10. So meaning they could just, throw the games away. You know, the rest of them, because they locked in. And so, you know, the NBA is going to have to really go back and look at this, the whole thing, and figure out another way. Because I think we spoke about this. I'm not big on rewarding losing and ineptitude. And I don't feel that teams should be getting high draft picks because they suck. No, earn the right to get a high draft pick.
Very well said. An interesting concept. Always good having you on. We'll do it again next Wednesday. You take care. Enjoy the weekend of basketball.
All right. Thank you. You too.
All right. Take care. How about that? Career highs against Dikembe Mutombo. Is that unbelievable or what? Seriously. Wow. Unbelievable. We'll come back 916-779-0929. We'll react to that and more when we return on Fox Sports Sacramento.
We are Aftershock, the West Coast's largest rock, metal, and punk festival, returns to Sacramento this October with My Chemical Romance. Tool. Limp Bizkit. Pierce the Veil. Plus, Suicide Boys, Queens of the Stone Age, The Offspring, A Day to Remember, Wu-Tang Clan, Sublime, Danny Elfman, Baby Metal, Public Enemy, Circa Survive, and so many more. 4 days, 135 plus bands, 5 stages. Aftershock takes over Discovery Park October 1st through 4th. My Chemical Romance, Tool, Limp Bizkit, Pierce the Veil. All 4 day, single day, and premium passes are on sale now, starting at only $1 down. Get yours at AftershockFestival.com.
Spring is here, so check your tires. When your vehicle needs the best, get Firestone Firehawks. They are built on years of racing heritage and are designed with the latest in tire technology. This month, save $100 on a set of 4 Firestone Firehawks. They provide the confidence and comfort you've come to expect from Firestone. Race into Expert Tires and Brakes, 5810 Auburn Boulevard, and find the set that's right for you. Whatever you drive a Firestone. Available at Expert Tires and Brakes, 5810 Auburn Boulevard.
Listen up, guys. Are you experiencing any of the following? Fatigue, less drive, poor performance? If so, you may be one of the nearly 30 million men in the U.S. today dealing with ED. But did you know you don't have to pay hundreds for a prescription anymore? And you don't have to deal with the hassle of seeing the doctor or the embarrassment of going to the pharmacy for a certain pill. Now, with one free call, you can find out how Herbal Virility Max can help you feel like a man again. For over a decade, Herbal Virility Max has helped guys just like you put a smile back on their face with improved performance and drive. Call today and ask about our buy one, get one free offer.
800-690-8445.
800-690-8445. 800-690-8445. That's 800-690-8445.
Let's face it, shit happens every day. And when it does, the Accident Guys are here to help. Call us, the Accident Guys, 877-888-GUYS.
Need an accident attorney by your side? All you got to do is call the Accident Guys.
I love the exercise classes at the senior center, and I love eating healthy, but it can be expensive. BenefitsCheckup.org connected me to programs that help me pay for groceries. Visit BenefitsCheckup.org today.
Supported by the U.S. Administration for Community Living.
916-779-0929. We've got the final week and a half of hockey coming up in the National Hockey League. Then they'll start the Stanley Cup playoffs. Big game tonight with Edmonton and San Jose. Giants win again, another shutout over the Phils. Maybe that gets them rolling. Yanks and A's are underway in New York. All of that, your phone calls at 916-779-0929. We say hello to Mac. Mac, welcome to the show. How are you?
Oh, I'm doing well. And how are you doing?
I'm well, thank you.
So, look, you were mentioning last night, I think it was last night, about, I'm not going to directly quoting, but I'm paraphrasing, but kind of how the bottom part of the Western Conference in the NBA, where you have teams that are below 500 are about to, be in the play-in and whatnot.
Yes, that's correct.
Correct? You recall that? Okay.
Yes.
So I want to take that further and look at hockey.
Yep.
You see the Los Angeles Kings have 19 overtime losses.
Yes.
And they're going to probably be in over, I think, a good Nashville team and a Sharks team. And I don't understand why they brought in the shootout so that there were no ties, but
yes.
They give points for losses in overtime. Why should you be rewarded for losing? I don't.
Well, you know what? I don't
like
know why.
that.
I understand. I understand because you get the 1 point, but you can't complain about a system that everyone knew how the system was before the season began, and you get to the end of the season and complain about it. Like I root for the Knights in the West because of my friend George McPhee. They've got 16 overtime losses, and yet they're tied with Edmonton at atop the Pacific. That's a lot, 16 for a team of that caliber. By the way, they've won 4 in a row since they replaced Cassidy with John Tortorella. He's undefeated at 4-0. But, yeah, I understand there are a lot of people that want to know, why do you get a point for a game that you lose in overtime? I'm with you. It's fair enough. Fair enough.
I would rather go to back to the tie system, keep the 3-on-3 in overtime, and go back to the tie system if you're not going to get rid of that. That's just me. But fine. Last question. I wanted your thoughts. Boy, the Sharks, their goalies have been. It's just been back and forth. They've both had a good year, and this is getting to the point where you kind of got to pick a goalie for your run, especially if you're making a run to the playoffs. Who do you think? Who would you pick?
That's a great.
Or Nedjedovic?
That is a fabulous question. I'm to a point right now. I hate to say this because I'm not ducking your question, but I'm almost going to flip a coin here because I'm looking at, as you said, you know what? The coach knows this better than I do in terms of what would be the best way to proceed. But you better make the right choice because they cannot afford anything to be bad right now. They're on the outside looking in. All right, and they got a tough game coming up tonight.
Well, yeah, and I think I think they got this. I think they're going to win tonight simply because Edmonton played last night.
Yep.
And
they've lost 2 in a row.
And the one thing about and they gave up 6 goals. So the 6th was in overtime, but they gave up 5 goals in regulation. And that's the one thing that I think can help the Sharks. Just if the Sharks defensemen can learn how to move the puck and get the puck out of their zone, they'd be so much better. I mean, it's just I don't know. That's the one thing that the Sharks really need help on is the blue line. They need a guy who can get the puck out of the zone and also some defensemen that can just skate. Anyway, have a great.
Well, listen. The one thing about Edmonton right now, we talk about goaltending. That's their Achilles heel. Their goaltending was awful last night. You know, they were in control of that game. They were absolutely in control of that game. And the fact that they ended up losing that game is unbelievable. And they, by the way, at home in the game before that, I don't know if you were following them. I don't know how closely you do, but they were up they were up last night 4-1. All right. And they lost 6-5. The game before that at home on their home ice against Vegas, they lost 5-1. Vegas came in there in a big game for Vegas, and they destroyed Edmonton. They destroyed them on their home ice, 5-1.
Yeah, I'm not. I don't think that the Western Conference, as of right now, I don't have a lot of confidence in them. I really got to think that the winner of I think that the winner of the cup will probably come out of the East. That's just me. But anyway,
well, you know what? I mean, I don't know about that for this reason. Okay, I think the Colorado Avalanche are the best team in hockey, and they're in the West. And I think they're. I know that very often the President's Trophy, the number one team, doesn't go all the way. But listen, Carolina's having a heck of a year. We know about Tampa. But Colorado, I think, has been the best, most consistent team all year. They're going to be a very tough out in the playoffs.
That's true, and they have won it before. You do have Nathan McKinnon, who's won too. Yeah.
Yep.
So yes, you have that experience. All right. Well, you take it easy. Have a great afternoon, and I'll talk to you soon.
I look forward to it. Thank you very much, Ryan. You're going to have the virtual reality goggles on, sitting behind the glass for the playoffs again this year.
Heck yeah. Are you kidding me? It's actually a great way to watch hockey. If you can't be at the arena, I'll take it.
Yeah.
I need to see a game in person, though, for the first time.
Yeah. Well, you need to get your passport first.
I don't need a passport to see NHL hockey.
I'm just telling you.
I can go to San Jose.
I'm trying to help you out a little bit.
Yeah, I know. I need to get that. I actually had a dream that I got it.
Really? A dream?
It was a dream.
Well, a dream's not going to get you through immigration.
Probably not. No.
Just letting you know that.
Might get me some extra trouble.
Yeah. By the way, the A's are already down 2-0 to the Yankees in the second inning. The Yanks scored 2 in the bottom of the first against the former Yankee pitcher, Luis Severino. So 2 runs for the Yankees on 3 hits in that first inning, and they lead by the score of 2-0. Nice job by the Giants today to come back and win that series after losing the opener to Philadelphia 6-4. They had the lead in that game, and their bullpen let them down in game 1, and then they come back last night, win 6-0, and then they shut out Philadelphia today 5-0. So maybe that gets them going. Those are 2 big wins for their rookie manager and the Giants, whose really play has been so inconsistent. So let's see if that gets them going. But the A's on the road, game 2 of a 3-game set in New York. Warren is pitching for the Yankees against Severino. Then it's on to take on the Mets. So the A's have their bags unpacked for the whole week, taking on the Yankees now, and then the Mets. All right, after the Yankees scored 4 times late in the game yesterday, including a 3-run homer in the 8th to give the Yankees the lead for good by Rosario, and they win by the score of 5-3. So a lot of games already played today in the bigs, and the Giants being one of them. But the A's off to a slow start this year. Now, thank goodness they won 2 out of 3 against the Astros if you're following them. But they're 1-6, the A's are, on the road. You have to remember, they got swept in Toronto. They lost 2 of 3 in Atlanta. And now they've lost the opener of this series. So they're 1-6 on the road. And they are 3-7 overall, with the schedule not getting any easier, already down 2-0 in the Bronx against the Yanks.
How would the NHL players grade the Braves Angels fight yesterday?
Probably a 7.
7,
right?
Okay.
Yeah. What would you grade it?
I mean, for baseball, it was a strong B plus. I'm in the same neighborhood.
You asked me how hockey players would grade it. You didn't ask me how I would grade it.
How
I'm
would
talking
you
about
grade it?
hockey players might grade it. I would go along with you in that regard. By the way, did you see the suspensions?
7
as the
games.
result of that, 7 games.
Yep.
7 games.
It's so funny because that was going to be a rant idea, not the fight, but when benches clear
Yeah,
in baseball, because it's like, what are they doing?
I
It's
know.
just like-
It's a joke when the bullpens come out and everything else.
Yes.
Yeah. But you understand why it happens, because when a fight starts, you have 9 players on one team on the field and only 1 on the other.
Very good
Right?
point. Yeah.
So it's 9 against 1 until everyone else gets involved. But Lopez and Soler each getting 8-game suspensions.
And for
after
those that want the game to be fully automated, I don't think AI is going to be breaking up that fight.
Yeah, you think? Yeah, how would that work? Yeah, that's a very good point, Rhino. Yeah. Yeah, if you want robots all over the field, what happens when although it's not like the umpires do anything in that situation. They just get out of the way.
You just wait for it to clear out.
Yeah,
Cool
why
off.
would an umpire? It's not like hockey. I mean, what's an umpire going to do in front of with there's 40 men? I mean, it's not their job to break up the fight. It's their job to try to prevent the start of it.
Right.
But once it starts, they can't do anything.
Is the Yankees Red Sox fight the best of all time? Not
With,
so.
Don Zimmer being pushed down
Yes.
by Pedro Martinez.
You're not great. You're grading the entire performance. It's not just about blows. I think it's the most memorable in my life.
Yeah, I would agree. Pushing down an old man. Do you know that Don Zimmer was in the 70s? He was the manager of the Red Sox. And he was the manager of the Red Sox when the Yankees came from behind 13 and a half games in July, and the 1-game playoff, the Bucky Dent 3-run homer, so on and so forth. And I had always admired Don Zimmer from afar. And whenever he did an interview, I was like, man, I hope I can meet that guy one day. And I did. I met him when I was covering spring training back in the 90s. And I got an interview with Don Zimmer, and he could not have been nicer. He was fun to talk to. He was accommodating. He didn't rush me. I was thinking it was a great conversation. Really enjoyed that.
That's pretty
He's
cool.
He's a lifer. He's been a baseball lifer, Don Zimmer.
It's weird that that's allowed, that you can coach the Yankees and the team from up north.
Yes. He wasn't a manager in the Yankees. He was a bench coach. We wouldn't allow that.
Yeah. Surprised you even allow coaches, though. Why do you need a bench coach?
We gave him it was difficult. Wade Boggs came to the Yankees. Clemens came to the Yankees.
Yeah. There's a lot of crossover. You're right.
Johnny Damon.
Yep.
Yeah.
He had to cut his hair and shave his beard.
Yes, he did.
Is that
he
real?
did.
So you can only have a mustache if you're a Yankee, right?
Yeah, they've relaxed on that a little bit with Hal Steinbrenner. But yes, that's always been part of the Yankee tradition. No facial hair, no long hair. Absolutely. And Johnny Damon, he had to get on board.
There you go.
Yep. Absolutely. You know what my pet peeve is? My number one pet peeve with what's going on in baseball now? I'll tell you that when we come back right here on Fox Sports Sacramento.
Investors, keep listening to learn how to get report. A currency crisis is upon us. The U.S. dollar has been the world's reserve currency for over 50 years, but that is changing. It's time to protect your retirement. Decades of reckless borrowing and spending have critically weakened the dollar. The U.S. has become the world's biggest debtor with over $35 trillion in debt. Plus, the dollar's become weaponized. Countries are dumping it. Investors who wait until it's too late could lose big. There is one safe haven: gold. Diversify your portfolio with a physical asset they can't take away. Call the Reagan Gold Group right now and ask for your free gold guide. Here's our number:
800-941-4184. 800-941-4184. 800-941-4184. That's 800-941-4184.
I am dedicated. I am TNT. With Team in Training, you will reach your best physical self so blood cancer patients can reach theirs. Change your life by joining a marathon, half marathon, triathlon, or a cycle event, and you'll change the lives of blood cancer patients. I am committed. I am TNT. After 600,000 participants and almost $1 billion raised for treatments, TNT has helped the Leukemia and Lymphoma Society make a significant impact in the advancement of blood cancer therapies that save lives every day.
I am making a difference. I am TNT.
Join TNT. Expand your circle of friends to be part of a very special community. Train with world-class trainers and have the chance to be part of the most exciting endurance sports events in the country. Or train on your own schedule with TNT Flex. Join TNT and fundraise while you train and take part in getting us all closer to a world without blood cancers.
Join TNT now. Go to teamintraining.org.
Hey, folks, are you or do you know a veteran or family in need of a heating or air conditioning unit? I've got awesome news because DAS Mechanical is giving back by donating one to a veteran or family in need. Owner Nick Delancey and his family, hey, they're always looking to give back to the community, and they're excited to help out a veteran or family in need. Just go to dasmechanical.org and nominate yourself or, hey, someone you know to receive one. And yes, it comes with installation. It's very simple to enter. Go to dasmechanical.org, click the 2026 HVAC system donation tab. Fill out a very short 6-question nomination form. Nominate now at dasmechanical.org. DAS Mechanical, family-owned, locally owned, HVAC experts, serving Sacramento for years. For all of your HVAC needs, DAS will exceed your expectations. Once again, that's dasmechanical.org.
Call the good dudes at Gabrudes, G-U-B-R-U-D-S.
Homeowners, if you have an electrical project you need done, then you need the good dudes at Gabrudes. Family owned and operated for 30 years, Jay Gabrude and his team are the area's recognized experts for everything electrical, from the very basic like repairs, lighting upgrades, and whole house fans to the biggies, panel replacements, EV stations, and backup generators. Gabrudes does it all and does it right the first time. They're actually the guys their competition recommends. Gabrudes, expert 5-star service and always transparent, honest prices and solutions. Say goodbye to your electrical issues. Visit Gabrudes.com or call 24/7 and speak with a real live person. Gabrudes, G-U-B-R-U-D-S.
Call the good dudes at Gabrudes, G-U-B-R-U-D-S, Gabrudes.com.
So my pet peeve with baseball and really all sports, what is the deal with the jewelry? Seriously. Like Justin Jefferson of the Vikings and Jackson Dart of the Giants. You know, these big diamond, gold, silver chains around your neck. I'm watching the Dodgers the other night. Mookie Betts has got more jewelry, more. It looked like a jewelry store had unloaded all of their merchandise around his neck. Like, what is that all about? Do we need to have jewelry on the field? Can we please take the jewelry off? I mean, is it really necessary? And here's the other deal. Baseball players, right? They are running. And you look at the replay and they're running to make a catch, and their jewelry is hitting them in the face and flopping around. Like, is that not distracting? Do we have to have your jewelry on? Do you have to have all of the chains around your neck? Whether you're playing football or whether you're playing baseball, is that really necessary? What is that all about? You see that in hockey? No. Do you see it in basketball? No.
Yeah,
You can't have it in basketball for obvious reasons. It is just ridiculous. Get rid of the damn jewelry, would you please?
All right, let's break this down into different areas. Hockey players, I don't remember really the last time I saw a hockey player wearing jewelry other than a wedding ring. I don't think it's just part of what they do. I think the baseball players, it's stuff that never comes off. Like, if you look at some of the things...
It doesn't ever come off? You wear it when you shower? You wear it to bed? You wear it 24 hours a day? Seriously?
I think so.
Come on.
Some of it, I do. Football makes no sense to me. And you know what? I'll double down on your rant. If I was a billionaire, like some of these athletes, I would be wearing the fake stuff because everybody else would believe it's real. And I'd be saving some money.
So you want to talk about this? Okay. So I'm gonna say 15 to 20 years ago. Okay. I'm in Bangkok and I buy a knockoff Rolex. Okay. Cost me $20. I'm standing on the court at the next home game. And I'm wearing this watch and I'm holding my microphone next to Jerry Reynolds as we're getting ready to come on doing the Open. We're not on yet, but I'm holding the microphone in my left hand. The watch is on my left wrist, and the players are behind me in the warm-up line. And they're all coming up to me raving about my watch. And they're like, dude, where'd you get that? Oh, my God. How did you afford that? Blah, 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 blah.
Napier got a raise.
Yeah, and I'm just like, yeah, $20. $20, gents. $20.
Did you think about not telling the truth for a second?
I didn't tell him anything. I said, yeah, thank you.
Perfectly
But you're
played.
100% correct about that.
That is funny.
Yeah, absolutely.
My pops used to tell me stories when he'd go to New York. They had an inn when it came to Canal Street and the knockoff purses where it wasn't like you just go on Canal Street. No, like you go into a back room, they move a Pepsi machine aside, you go down some stairs, and like the ones that you could not tell the difference between real and fake, they come with every bell and whistle that the real ones come with. And he'd be taking orders. The moms or friends would be, hey, can you send him a picture of this? It's crazy how the knockoffs can be really good.
It's absolutely unbelievable. Okay? It's unbelievable. As a matter of fact, I had a friend, this was probably 10 years ago, that took his girlfriend into a Louis Vuitton store in San Francisco on Union Square. And they had just gotten back from the King's China trip.
Yeah.
In 2014. And she had, maybe it was 2004, but whatever it was, they had just gotten back from one of the King's trips. And she had bought a knockoff bag. And the lady was looking at the bag in the Louis Vuitton store.
Mm-hmm.
And didn't even know it was a knockoff.
Yeah.
Seriously.
Do you know the different areas of town to go to in the major cities if you want to find that stuff, since you're so well traveled?
Yeah. Well, it depends where you are. But in Bangkok, on any corner on the street, and when I was in Shanghai in 2014, my wife and I were walking down the street, and we had heard, we were on a side street. This was probably not the smartest thing that we've ever done in our life, but an individual came up to us with a picture. And my wife said, yeah, let's do it. And we went into a walkway into a building of structures, buildings everywhere.
Yeah.
Went into an elevator of an old building. The elevator opened up on about the 10th floor, and it was nothing but knockoff shopping bags in what was someone's apartment. There was no bed, no desk, no anything. It was literally hundreds and hundreds of different designer bags. And I was nervous. I was like, we probably shouldn't be doing this. We're in a foreign country. We're going to play. We don't even know if this is legit. We could, but we're stupid. And yeah.
Can you get?
But in a lot of big cities, like in Asia in particular,
for sure,
they're out in the open.
Can you get dinged at immigration if you're bringing those back?
I've never done. When I say I've never done that, that was back in 2014. That's a long time ago. Now, yeah, I'm sure you can. Yeah. Yep. I'm sure you can.
You still have the Rolex?
I do. I don't wear it, but yes, I actually still have it. Yes.
Nice.
I don't even know if it still works. By the way, it worked for quite a while. It did.
You know, there's people that specialize in fixing the fake Rolexes.
Is that right?
Yes.
I did not know that. They specialize in that?
Yeah, like some of the batteries that go into them, they're not common batteries.
Okay.
I figured this out because a fake Rolex made its way to me. And I'm like, okay, just got to get the battery changed, fix it. It's be working perfectly. Had to work really hard to find anybody that knew how to do that.
The last time I was in Thailand, I was sitting with my good buddy, and we were at a side street, but it just happened to be, it was a side street off the main drag, which is called Sukhumvit. And this is very common. You have individuals coming up to you with the watches in their hand, showing them to you. And they have basically like a little satchel over their shoulder.
Mm-hmm.
And they literally will take out 15 or 20 different watches and put them down in front of you. And obviously, they're going to start at a very high price. And you're like, stop. And then they'll come down. Come on, stop. And you're like, no, not interested. They're like, how much?
Right.
And I know what to ask for. And they're like, then they want it, they'll raise the price. I'm like, no, that's what I'm going to offer you. If you don't want it, leave us alone. They don't leave you alone. Like, it's literally annoying. As a matter of fact, this was a different time. I was with a buddy a different time on the main drag. We were with 3 different guys. And the guy kept on bothering us. And I said to the guy, I go, listen, here's the deal. I'm going to buy that watch right there for 800 baht, but here's the deal. You have to leave. Excuse me? I go, if I buy that watch, you have to walk away. You understand? 800 baht. Then you leave. You leave us alone because you're annoying us. You're bothering us. I'm going to buy that watch just for you to go away. Bought the watch, 800 baht, which was about, 10 bucks is round off 300 baht for $10, okay?
Okay.
So I'm getting it for like less than $25.
Well, hey, he did his job, right? That's not the easiest job in the world to do or illegal, but
yeah, it was even less than that. It was less than that. It was $20.
So
all right.
Apparently there's some countries where if you're traveling alone, or maybe it's just like you and a friend or whatever, like they have these set up scams where like it's a local, like, oh, I know the bartender, and they start chauffeuring you around and, oh, let's have a beer here. And then the check comes for the beer. And it's like, because the bartender's in on it. Like, it's a ridiculous.
You got to be careful. You got to be careful.
Yeah.
By the way, the individuals that sell these Rolex knockoff in Thailand, none of them are Thai. They're not. It's not like you speak Thai. They're not Thai citizens. They're from different countries. Mostly a lot of Indian retailers, if I can use the term retailers, on the street. Different countries. None of them are Thai.
So, okay, it's not common, or it's very disrespectful to honk your horn over there.
Correct.
So, is there like a major punishment if they get caught selling these, or is it not a big deal?
Doesn't seem that way because they're walking down all the streets and they're out in public doing it. So it doesn't appear that way. I don't know the answer to that for sure. And I don't want to speak out of turn because I don't know what protocol is over there and what it's like in terms of how it's policed or governed, but doesn't seem to be that way. They're out in the open just about on every street.
Because we went to Canal.
In the tourist areas,
We went to Canal Street and everything's on blankets. It started raining. Somebody just folded up their blanket.
Not
and
only
put it
that,
over
but
their
there
shoulder.
are raids in Canal Street, and they quickly come in and they close that door down, and they know, and they've been busted before, but that's illegal what they're doing there, and they are on the lookout. Absolutely, I've been to Canal Street many times, many times. It's quite a scene, isn't it?
It is. It's insane.
Yeah,
pretty cool.
I don't know how we got on this topic. Actually, I brought it up because you were telling me the story. But I am not a fan of the jewelry on the athletic fields. Take it off, please. I'm not a fan of it. Not a fan. Especially the chains around the neck that are flopping around. And I'm like, I was watching Jackson Dart this year, and I'm watching him run, and I'm looking at the replay and the chain bouncing up. I'm like, how is that not distracting?
Well, I can't speak for football players, but I think there is a cultural aspect for some of the baseball players, especially Latino, and they have chains. They wear them. They enjoy it. They never come off.
No?
You know how superstitious baseball players are.
Yeah, that's true.
So
Yeah. So you think they are on 24 hours a day?
I think not every single one of them, but I bet one of the 3 or 4 never comes off.
Interesting. All right. Well, I don't know what else to say other than Grant's Rants coming up in a little bit. We'll move on. We've got the Masters. So after my rant, Rhino, I want to get your pick. Who is going to win this year's Masters at Augusta? Who do you like? Who are you going with? That is coming up after Grant's Rant right here on Fox Sports Sacramento.
If you've been waiting to buy a home, then you must be prepared to act soon for what's about to happen in the real estate market. The expected Fed rate cuts will renew the housing market demand. Buyers, like you, will flood the market. Bidding wars will happen, homes will sell quickly. You need to get your ducks in a row, and the best way to start is with an experienced broker to represent you. Village Financial's Spencer Grimmenstein is that broker. Spencer's white glove service, boutique experience, one-stop shop method makes it so easy. Spencer will navigate you through the process from start to finish. He has extensive home listings to choose from throughout Northern California. His 30-year mortgage brokering experience will get you the best rates. He also has access to private money to help you expedite getting your offer accepted and closed. And don't forget that it makes sense to call Spence. Call now to schedule a free home buying consultation. 916-805-4868. 916-805-4868, or visit Spencer's Village Financial website at bfgloans.com.
Have you ever tried to buy gold and silver and felt like you were talking to a used car salesman? That's because the precious metals industry is like the Wild West. Salesmen can say pretty much anything or make any promise they want without repercussion. But Genesis Gold Group is different. They're a faith-driven Christian precious metals company and believe in educating their customers, not pressuring them for a quick sale. Genesis Gold Group focuses on customer service, not sleazy marketing. Genesis Gold Group is named after the first book of the Bible for a reason. Proper stewardship of wealth is their specialty. Find out why they've earned a 5 out of 5 rating through the Better Business Bureau and how they can help you secure your wealth or retirement through physical precious metals. Call right now to learn more.
800-497-8464. 800-497-8464. 800-497-8464. That's 800-497-8464.
I'm Dan Patrick, and this is Above the Noise. The buzz around Notre Dame running back Jeremiah Love has grown to the point where the Titans may take him at number 4 overall. It's starting to feel almost expected, and on talent alone, it's easy to understand why. Love looks like the kind of player who can change an offense the moment he steps on the field. But drafting a running back that high isn't just about talent, it's about the infrastructure. Yes, he would help Cam Ward. Any offense will benefit from a dual threat in the backfield. History has shown that's not enough. Jahmyr Gibbs worked in Detroit because everything around him worked first. The passing game was established, the line controlled games, and then there was a clear plan. At the other end, Ashton Genty never found that footing in Vegas, at least not yet. If you're spending that kind of pick on a running back, you're not just drafting a player, you're committing to a vision. And if that vision isn't ready, the talent won't matter as much as you think. I'm Dan Patrick, and this is Above the Noise.
I am dedicated. I am TNT.
With Team in Training, you will reach your best physical self so blood cancer patients can reach theirs. Change your life by joining a marathon, half marathon, triathlon, or a cycle event, and you'll change the lives of blood cancer patients.
I am committed. I am TNT.
After 600,000 participants and almost $1 billion raised for treatments, TNT has helped the Leukemia and Lymphoma Society make a significant impact in the advancement of blood cancer therapies that save lives every day.
I am making a difference. I am TNT.
Join TNT. Expand your circle of friends to be part of a very special community. Train with world-class trainers and have the chance to be part of the most exciting endurance sports events in the country. Or train on your own schedule with TNT Flex. Join TNT and fundraise while you train and take part in getting us all closer to a world without blood cancers.
Join TNT now. Go to teamintraining.org.
Grant Napear is back every weekday afternoon, 3 to 6. This is Fox Sports, KSAC 890 AM Olivehurst, K284CM 104.7 FM Sacramento.
It's time for Grant.
All right, Rhino, what do you have for me?
All right, Napes. The Masters, the biggest tournament in many people's opinions on the tour. If you're going to be watching the Masters this weekend with a group of guys, unless you are a scratch golfer or better, do not second guess these players on what shots they're taking and what they should have done. Come on, stop it. You can't stand that guy when I'm watching golf. Second thing with the Masters, par 3 contest today. A couple guys hit holes in one. This used to be something that I loved to watch, to see the kids caddy for the players. And now we've got Kevin Hart caddying, hitting shots, Jason Kelsey hitting shots. Can we bring some integrity back to the par 3 contest, please?
Yeah, I'm with you on that. Can I go off something that's even more bizarre?
Please.
I'm gonna ask you to help me with this rant. Did you see the photographs of the head coach of the New England Patriots, Mike Vrabel, and NFL reporter from The Athletic, Diana Rossini?
I did.
Okay. I'm going to ask you just for your opinion without knowing the facts. Did those photos to you make you raise your eyebrows and go, oh?
They did.
Okay. Me too. So I'm going to bring up what I talk about as common sense. Okay? Mike Vrabel is 50. Rossini is 43. Both, by the way, are married. Okay? And they have had a working relationship that goes back quite a ways when Vrabel was the head coach at Tennessee. I was reading the story in the New York Post with quotes from Rossini. Quote, the photos don't represent the group of 6 people who were hanging out during the day. Like most journalists in the NFL, reporters interact with sources away from stadiums and other venues. Okay? The executive editor of The Athletic, his name is Steven Ginsburg, also made a comment to the Post. Quote, these photos are misleading and lack essential context. These were public interactions in front of many people. Diana is a premier journalist covering the NFL, and we're proud to have her at The Athletic. Vrabel also made a comment. Quote, these photos show a completely innocent interaction, and any suggestion otherwise is laughable. This doesn't deserve any further response. Those are pretty strong statements, are they not, Ryan?
Yes, about as strong as you can make.
Right. Basically, both are saying this is hogwash, it is nonsense, and blah, blah, blah. What do we always say? Pictures and videos tell a different story, correct? But not always. There are others that were at this resort in Sedona, Arizona, that have been open and saying, we have not seen any other people other than Rossini and Vrabel. We haven't seen the other people that you were talking about being there. I don't know. I'm not there. But I would just say this. Those pictures of Vrabel and Rossini do not look like a working relationship to me in terms of one individual being a reporter and another individual being a head coach. In other words, that's not the visual that I would have in my mind if they were together in a working capacity in a location such as a beach or a poolside resort. Okay? I'm not insinuating that they're doing anything wrong. All I'm telling you is my eyes tell me a different story than what Vrabel and Rossini pointed out. And here's the other deal. If they're at a resort of that magnitude, where are their spouses? Were their spouses there? Why weren't the spouses there? I mean, I'm just asking a question. Both Mike Vrabel's wife and Rossini's husband are not at this beautiful poolside resort in Sedona. She's on a hiking trip where they're girlfriends, and Mike Vrabel just happens to be there in the middle of the desert in Arizona at this resort. Like, I'm sorry. Like, I'm trying to use common sense here. And I don't like accusing individuals of doing something wrong without proof. All I'm saying is that, generally speaking, if you're caught in a situation of this magnitude, you'd be mum. You probably wouldn't be making quotes to the New York Post and other media outlets. You'd probably be like trying to be incognito, and you'd be trying to figure out how to put the fire out. Neither Rossini or Vrabel are doing so. So I'm going to give them the benefit of the doubt here. I'm going to give them the benefit of the doubt because their comments are that strong in denial. But those pictures that are out for everyone to see tell me a different story. Now, I don't want to accuse them. All I'm saying is those pictures to me, Ryan, that does not look like an NFL reporter and an NFL head coach, just being friends, okay? They showed me a little bit more. Now, do you agree or disagree?
No, I do agree. I think the part for me that's tough to reconcile is similar to you with the Athletic editor putting their neck on the line with this. And if we're going to talk about common sense, what's one of the most common sense known things about the NFL? Coaches are always away from their families, right? They spend more time at the building and doing stuff than they do with their families during the seasons. And, like page 6, for instance, in TMZ,
right.
TMZ is very reputable. They do not get things wrong. And on their website, they're quoting them. The outlet cited sources claiming the two were, quote unquote, damn near inseparable throughout the day, enjoying breakfast together before hopping in the hot tub and then soaking in the sunset later that night.
Again, can I use common sense here? Right? Can I please just go to common sense? Their comments don't add up to me. And you talk about TMZ, I was going by page 6 of the New York Post.
They were, but TMZ was willing to cite page 6, and I find TMZ to be pretty spot on most of the time.
Wow.
It's just
I don't know what else to say. Those comments were so strong in denial that I want to give them the benefit of the doubt. But when I look at the pictures, my eyes tell me a different story.
Well, I think there's certainly some follow-up questions that should be answered. I mean, if they're really good friends, like I have friends who have been married before and they're still very good friends with their exes, and their current partners are totally fine with it. And they're close like that, where they'll have breakfast, they'll hug, whatever. But that's not the norm. That's the exception to the norm most times. And I think a follow-up would be warranted about how close of friends they are. I would have liked to hear more about that, other than they're way out of context, because there's only one. It's like the Coldplay thing, right? How many contexts were there for that CEO ducking and then flying over the second row of chairs into his suite.
Yeah.
Like, it's a weird look, Grant. Okay,
Yeah.
let me ask you this. What does it mean, okay, besides the obvious for their personal lives, what would this mean if there was more to it?
It's a really bad look for a lead reporter, if it's true, in the National Football League, one of the best at what she does, and a well-established head coach that was just in the Super Bowl. It would be damaging. Is it fireable offense? Not from Mike Vrabel's point of view, and I don't mean to be putting the onus on the woman, because if the head coach of the Patriots were female and the reporter in this case were male, I would say the same thing. That's really, you want to talk about credibility?
Right. That's what I was going to get at.
Agree or disagree?
I think it undermines credibility.
And again, I'm going to go by their statements, Vrabel and Rossini, but my eyes tell me something different. That's all I'm saying.
Well put. Well put.
And I just was so blown away after looking at the pictures and then reading their quotes. And I was like, wow, really? That is a strong denial for photos like that. And then TMZ's reporting, as you said, they got a pretty good track record with this stuff, correct?
Yes.
Could they be wrong? Sure, they could be wrong. They could be wrong. No doubt. They could be wrong. All right. So, golf, Masters. Do you have, I mean, everybody wants to take DeChambeau, or they think, Rory can be the man again. And who are you taking? What do you think?
Okay, we're going to do this your way, and then we'll do it my way. I've kind of thrown out some of the names that I like. I think I'm not super high on Bryson. I do like Jon Rahm a lot. He's finished in the top 10 5 times in his 9 Masters. You think about the names that are always there: Adam Scott, Justin Rose.
Yep.
What about a Tommy Fleetwood? He finally got a victory. Can he break in onto the Masters? Then there's Scotty Scheffler, Grant.
Yeah, you can't ever forget about Scotty Scheffler. I am going to give you my picks of 2 guys that I think are going to be on the leaderboard when we get to Sunday. One is Shane Lowry.
Wow.
And the other is Ludwig Oberg. He's playing in day 1 tomorrow at 10:08 our time with Jon Rahm and Chris Gotterup. I love his game. A few years ago, he was in contention on the back 9. He's got experience. I like the way he played this year earlier at the Players. I don't like the way he played on Sunday. That makes me a little bit nervous to pick him on a Sunday at a major such as the Masters. Shane Lowry's already won a major, the Open Championship. He's normally on the leaderboard. He's normally right there. We've seen him win golf tournaments and be in contention a lot. He's my other guy that I'm keeping. Those are my 2. I'm with you on Tommy Fleetwood winning the Tour Championship and getting that huge gorilla off his back, because that was his first victory on this soil over here in this country with the PGA. I would not count him out now. That was huge for him. Could it now be that he's going to nail down his first major? But I'm going to go with Oberg and Lowry to be in contention on Sunday. Because it's easy to pick DeChambeau. It's easy to pick McIlroy. It's easy to pick Scotty Scheffler. I'm picking 2 guys that probably a lot of people aren't picking.
Yep, and I was going to go Oberg and Fleetwood. Those were going to be my 2. And so now let me ask you the question this way. So you've given 2 names. I've got the odds in front of me for the Masters.
Okay.
If you had to pick one player to win the Masters as we sit today, who are you picking?
So I got to take one player against the field, correct?
Yes. So, okay, here's your odds. I'll give you like the top 10. We'll go Scott.
I'm probably taking, I'll tell you right now who I'm taking. I'm taking Scotty Scheffler, but go ahead.
Yeah, Scheffler has the best odds at plus, I believe, check my eyes, plus 510.
Okay.
John Rahm.
I don't even know what that means.
That means if you bet $100, you would get $510 if
Okay.
Scotty Scheffler won.
Okay.
John Rahm is plus 900. DeChambeau plus 1050. A name
So if you bet $100 on DeChambeau and he wins, you get $1,050?
Correct.
Wow.
Rory McIlroy plus 1225. I think Rory is going to play really well this week.
Another guy I have an eye on is Cameron Young. What's his odds at?
Cameron Young is right up there, plus 2,100. Matt Fitzpatrick plus Wood plus 2,350.
Wow.
Now, let's scroll down a little bit to one of the guys that you said that is much lower in the odds. Let me get back.
Shane Lowry.
Shane Lowry. He is, excuse me, plus 6,600.
Wow.
Plus 6,600.
And what's Ludwig Oberg?
He's right up there. He is plus.
Sorry to do this to you. On a...
Yeah, no worries. I'll find him in a second.
All right, forget about him. What about Brooks Koepka?
Oh, plus 3,700.
Yeah. And Spieth?
Oberg is plus 1,600. Spieth is plus, he's further down the list, I want to say.
But Koepka,
here he is.
Koepka's not playing well. Yeah.
Plus 3,600.
Okay. All right. The weather's going to be great. So did you see Justin Thomas make a hole-in-one today?
I did not see it, but I heard about it.
Par 3 contest, yeah.
Yeah.
So, well, I can't wait. I love watching this tournament. I mean, the visuals are unbelievable. And with the weather being the way it is, it's just going to be awesome. Going to be awesome.
Yep. I am.
All right, so we have one. So if you had to take one player, you would take Scheffler, correct? If you absolutely had to just take one player, that's who you're taking?
Have to. Yes.
All right.
I'm split there. I might go Rory this week, but no, Scheffler, you got to stick with.
Are you getting up at 4:40 in the morning to figure out a way how to see the first two tee off after the ceremonial tee shot?
I'll catch it later. I don't need to see that. By the way, Alan, I want to get this in since we're talking Masters. Alan Shipnook was doing an interview about his new book entitled Rory, and he was asked about the impact of Tiger Woods and his thoughts of what's happened and Tiger not being at the Masters this year. Here's what Alan had to say.
It's a sad story. I mean, I was inside the ropes for every one of Tiger's major championship victories, and it was the thrill of a lifetime, as it was for every sports fan. Like, he has given us so many memories and so many unforgettable moments. And now we're going on, 17 years of him just slowly tarnishing his legacy. And it's just hard to watch. Like, I have empathy for Tiger as a guy who is clearly battling addiction, but it's also frustrating and it's outrageous that he keeps endangering himself and the public getting behind the wheel. But he's been so slow to take ownership of this that he just can't get the help he needs. So it's a positive step that he's admitted a problem and he's getting treatment. But he's been down this road already twice and it hasn't stuck. Like, he needs some major structural changes in how he's living. And it's just a bummer. I mean, not to have him in, he was Rory McIlroy's hero growing up, and he'll never be in the photo when Rory was hosting his first Masters dinner last night. There was a gaping absence without Tiger in that photo. And it's just sad to see this unraveling of an incredible legacy.
Very good points right there. By the way, I want to add something. Scotty Scheffler, right?
Yeah.
They go by groups. So he's in group 30. There were a total of 31 groups. He's in group 30.
Mm-hmm.
He tees off at 10:56 a.m., 1:56 Eastern time tomorrow. That means on Friday, he's the second group to go off.
Early day.
Early day. And so what does that mean? it means that if he gets a break with, let's say, the weather in terms of wind, it's not going to rain, but late in the day, he's going to be in the second to last group, early in the morning Friday. Just keep an eye on those two things.
Do you have
because sometimes luck plays into this as well.
Do you have the threesomes in front of you?
Yes.
What to you is the most attractive threesome over the first couple days?
I haven't analyzed it to that day. I do think Justin Rose playing with Jordan Spieth and Brooks Koepka is a very attractive group. I think that is going to have a very large following. And other than that, I haven't really analyzed it that much. I'm just doing this all off the top of my head. But that's one that stuck out to me. That is one that stuck out to me is like, okay, you know what? That could be a lot of fun. That could be a lot of fun. I think there will be a lot of people following that group. You've got Russell Henley, who's really good with Colin Morikawa, who's going to play despite the injury, with Hideki Matsuyama. That's going to be a good group. But here's one for you. All right. Bryson DeChambeau, Matt Fitzpatrick, Xander Schauffele. DeChambeau, Fitzpatrick, Schauffele teeing off at 7:07 our time. And then right before that, Tommy Fleetwood is playing with Patrick Reed and Bhatia. All right. So Akshay Bhatia, that's a good group.
He's a good golfer.
He's really good. I'll tell you right now, I would not be surprised at all if he wins this tournament. He's playing well. Bhatia, Fleetwood, and Reed, that's a very good group.
The only thing to me that is working against him is course knowledge, because this is that one tournament, as you so perfectly pointed out, that the course does not change much. And I think that is a reason you see some of the names always near the leaderboard, because they get the course. They know the secrets.
So, there's some good groups. There's also a couple of, two groups of two because of the field and everything else. I just love watching this tournament because it's the same course every year. It's just so much fun to watch. It's my favorite time of the year in golf. Like, I think I probably like watching the Masters more than any other event.
What do you think the cost of hotel rooms near Augusta spikes up to?
It's not the hotel rooms. It's really the homes that they rent out.
Oh, okay.
People that live there rent out their homes for weeks. And so they make a ton of money doing that.
Where did you park? Or you didn't have to park? You didn't have a car?
No, I took a taxi. There's a lot of parking there, though. And a lot of shuttles and everything. It's a non-issue.
Is Augusta similar to Green Bay, where everything is basically built around the stadium?
Yes. Pretty much. I mean, Augusta's a big town. I mean, there are a lot of different neighborhoods and everything.
Yeah.
So
there was a cool story a couple of years ago. I forget the guy's name, but he's like called the Caddy on ESPN.
Mm-hmm.
You can rent canoes that go because Rays Creek is a creek that runs through Augusta. It's much narrow in other spots, but you can rent a canoe and canoe all the way up. Not while the tournament's going on, but when it's pretty cool.
Wow. Okay.
So, you know what? I would love to just go there. Maybe if it's not for the tournament, but just to get the vibe of that area.
Even if you just go for the practice round, if you can get into the practice round on Tuesday, it's phenomenal. I haven't been to that one, but that would be something I would love to do.
With you. All right. We're due for a break.
Yes, we'll do it. We'll come back. We've got a lot to talk about with the latest baseball scores, the NBA, and everything else right here on Fox Sports Sacramento.
It's Rhino inviting you to join me on America's #1 daily fantasy site, Prize Picks. What I love about Prize Picks is real sports knowledge meets real payouts. You're not competing against sharks, just the numbers. In basketball, points, rebounds, assists, baseball, hits, total bases. One swing can cash your pick. Golf fans, birdies, strokes, and round-by-round performance. Every shot counts and every pick matters. It's simple. Choose 2 to 6 players, pick more or less on their stat projection, and let them win the night for you. Download the Prize Picks app today using the code Rhino50 to get $50 in free play after you play your first $5 lineup. That's code Rhino, RYNO 50 to get $50 in free play after your first $5 lineup. One app, over 100 sports. Pick, predict, cash, Prize Picks.
Jackson Rancheria. Let's go.
Jackson. We're giving away life-changing cash at Jackson. Spin the super prize wheel, and you can win up to $1 million. Fridays and Saturdays, 5 to 10 p.m. Sundays, 2 to 7 p.m.
Jackson Rancheria. Let's go.
Buckle up, because we're also giving away an RV this Memorial Day. Earn entries now playing your favorite games, and be here 8 p.m. for your chance to win. Let's go.
Let's go.
You know the songs, you know the sound. Now you can hear them live at Jackson. Eagles tribute band One of These Nights is live June 13th. And our tribute series is packed with iconic rock. Journey Revisited, Skinnerd and Friends, CCR, and more.
Let's go.
Let's go. Let's rock. The music and the wins are waiting at Jackson.
Jackson, 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 Jackson Rancheria.
Let's go.
Listen up, guys. Are you experiencing any of the following? Fatigue, less drive, poor performance? If so, you may be one of the nearly 30 million men in the U.S. today dealing with ED. But did you know you don't have to pay hundreds for a prescription anymore? And you don't have to deal with the hassle of seeing the doctor or the embarrassment of going to the pharmacy for a certain pill. Now, with one free call, you can find out how Herbal Virility Max can help you feel like a man again. For over a decade, Herbal Virility Max has helped guys just like you put a smile back on their face with improved performance and drive. Call today and ask about our buy one, get one free offer.
800-690-8445. 800-690-8445. 800-690-8445. That's 800-690-8445.
Cade Cunningham is back after missing 11 games. And at the half, the Detroit Pistons, with Cunningham starting, lead the Bucks 75-57. Cunningham played 13 minutes in the first half, 6 points, 5 assists, 2 rebounds. That is great news. Great news for the Detroit Pistons. Yanks and Athletics now tied at 2 as the A's are able to tie the ball game up in the fourth with 2 runs. The Yankees now batting in the bottom. Or no, I take that back. The Yankees are up now in the fifth. All right, let's get to Lynn. Lynn, let's get to you right here on the Grant Napear Show. Hi, Lynn.
Grant, how are you doing?
Good, thank you.
I want to ask you a quick question about the Masters. So how many of the golfers are from the LIV Tour that will be playing this weekend?
I don't have the number, but there are quite a few, but I don't have the exact number.
So this is not a full PGA sanctioned event. So how is it determined for a golfer to be able to participate in to the Masters?
It's based on your exemptions. If you win on the PGA Tour,
Gotcha.
you get an automatic exemption. If you win a major, it's a multi-year exemption. Those are the 2 best ways. If you are the year before in the top, what have you, in the PGA FedEx standings, you get an automatic spot in the Masters. So there's different ways of getting into the Masters.
And how are these LIV guys getting into it since they're not playing in the PGA?
Well, they get in on their exemptions that when they're on the PGA Tour. If you win the Players, you get an exemption when you were there for a number of years. If you had won a major like John Rahm, Bryson DeChambeau, Dustin Johnson, they all have multiple years of exemptions, especially with being former master winners. They all get in for many, many years. Like Fred Couples is still, think about Fred Couples. Fred Couples has still got an exemption. He's still playing in the Masters this year.
That is very true. So it's basically on your historical stuff. I was always curious about that because that's one thing I want to watch is I want to see how the live golfers do compared to the PGA. Is that like a thing you think with the golfers? If the live golfers do really good and dominate the Masters, that's kind of.
Oh, absolutely. Yes, it is. It is a big deal. No question about that. And no doubt.
I'm gonna give you a funny story. A long time ago, I called the Rome show, got past Jay Stu about on hold, and my take was, Grant, the 2001 Indy 500 race, and that was when 3 kart teams come in there, and my call was basically congratulating Elio Salazar for winning the IRL 497 half-mile race because all the kart guys was a full lap over the first IRL regular. So I was just wondering if this could be like an issue like that, where you have these two different entities where if the live guys do really good, was a reflection on the Masters on that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, no, I don't. Not for
that.
this. I mean, not for this. DeChambeau is the favorite on of all the golfers. John Rahm would also be in that category. As Rahm's won a green jacket before. It's died down a little bit the last couple of years, and now you have players like Brooks Koepka, who's back on the PGA Tour. But yeah, it would be a big deal if they dominated for sure. Absolutely.
Okay, I want to go. I don't know if you saw what IMAX is doing with F1 and Apple. They're actually going to be telecasting, Grant, like 6 races in IMAX live.
Really?
So I'm going to have to go check one of these out. I think it's like Miami, Austin, and I think it's like Silverstone, Monza, and I think it's one more. They're actually going to show it in the movie theater in IMAX film. So have to check
that would be
out.
Pretty wild. Yeah, very interesting. I was not aware of that.
Out.
Yeah. Thank you, Lynn.
Yeah, I just dropped today. See you later.
All right, take care. That would be pretty cool watching an F1 race on an IMAX screen. Can you imagine the visuals on that? Wow.
I don't know if Lynn is cut out for the jungle. I love Lynn, but the jungle's a different place.
Yeah, he might be, his pace. Yeah. I hadn't really thought about that until you just said it. We love Lynn. He's one of our biggest supporters and love the man.
Yes, great caller.
Great call.
It's just your sports, like his sports stuff, great. Yeah. But, the jungle, they're not always focused on the sports, right? They find other things. So.
All right. Well, Lynn, we always appreciate hearing from you. Thank you, buddy.
Good stuff.
916-779-0929. Again, that's 916-779-0929. I will be on tonight at 7 o'clock. I'm going to grab a quick bite when I get off this show and get ready for my open forum Wednesday. Are we at Wednesday already, for crying out loud?
We are indeed.
Wow.
We are indeed.
Tomorrow, round 1. And so I'll have an open forum Wednesday show tonight. Talk a little golf with the Masters. And we will talk about the latest score from Yankee Stadium, now tied at 2 in the top of the 5th. A's trying to get their second road win of the year. Giants win earlier today, a matinee as they blanked the Phillies 5-0. So after shutting them out 6-0 yesterday, nice job of now getting back-to-back wins, kind of feeling good about themselves. Plus they pick up a game on the Dodgers, who lost by the score of 4-3 in Toronto, as Toronto able to win a game, a rematch of the World Series last year. 916-779-0929, the Kings. And we talked about this at the beginning of the show, and we'll revisit the situation in the final segment of the show. But if you weren't with us in hour number 1, you can listen to the replay coming up here in about 25 minutes, because I start off the show talking about the controversy and the comments made by Draymond Green after the game last night as it pertained to the Kings intentionally fouling Seth Curry when they were already in the penalty and up by 1 point. And Draymond thought that it was finable and it was tanking, so much so that the NBA is looking into that. But I told you my reasoning for that. You can listen to that again coming up in the replay at 6 o'clock. And then I will tell you what I think we should look towards in the final two games. A game coming up on Friday, then on Sunday in Portland to close out this miserable season. Miserable. I mean, there's no other way to say it. This has been a awful year.
Yeah.
All right, we'll come back.
Hold on really quick.
Yep.
I got to get this in.
Yes.
One reason to make sure that you are following us on Fox Sports, YouTube, X is we're going to be bringing you some special stuff for you wrestling fans. I know there's a lot of you out there. I see your text messages and comments. WWE superstar Maxine Dupree will be joining me in studio 12 o'clock on Monday. We're going to stream that directly to Fox Sports YouTube. So make sure that you join that as well. So mark your calendars. We're going to get some wrestling in.
That's on what day?
Monday. This coming Monday. Maxine Dupree will be joining us. Yes.
All right.
Sacramento's own Maxine Dupree, by the way.
Is that right?
Yes, she is from Loomis.
Huh.
How about that?
Good to know. We'll be right back. We'll wrap up the show. Fox Sports, Sacramento. I'll be right back.
Building friendships and bonding with family. It's what people experience during a day out at Golden State Shooting Center. Only moments outside of Sacramento. Golden State Shooting Center is a favorite for those who love the sport of trap, skeet, and sporting clay target shooting. It's also where the California Youth Sport Shooting Association trains and competes. New teams are being formed, and if you've got a son or daughter in high school, they can compete for college scholarships. Learn more at goldenstateshootingcenter.com or call 916-539-8544. If you've been shocked by your utility bills, fix it with 10-10-20 from Sierra Pacific. 10 years parts and labor warranty, 10 years to pay, and 20% off a new Sierra Pacific comfort system. Plus, this system will get SMUD customers a $3,000 rebate. Lock in the best price of the year on the best option for heating and cooling your home. 10-10-20 only from Sierra Pacific.
Sierra Pacific Solar Heating and Air. The guys in the big red trucks.
Investors, keep listening to learn how to get your free gold report. A currency crisis is upon us. The U.S. dollar has been the world's reserve currency for over 50 years, but that is changing. It's time to protect your retirement. Decades of reckless borrowing and spending have critically weakened the dollar. The U.S. has become the world's biggest debtor with over $35 trillion in debt. Plus, the dollar's become weaponized. Countries are dumping it. Investors who wait until it's too late could lose big. There is one safe haven: gold. Diversify your portfolio with a physical asset they can't take away. Call the Reagan Gold Group right now and ask for your free gold guide. Here's our number.
800-941-4184. 800-941-4184. 800-941-4184. That's 800-941-4184.
Spring is here, so check your tires. When your vehicle needs the best, get Firestone Firehawks. They are built on years of racing heritage and are designed with the latest in tire technology. This month, save $100 on a set of 4 Firestone Firehawks. They provide the confidence and comfort you've come to expect from Firestone. Race into Express Tires, 7215 Watt Avenue, and find the set that's right for you. Whatever you drive a Firestone. Get them at Express Tires, 7215 Watt Avenue.
Jackson Rancheria.
Let's go. Jackson. Dust off your leg warmers and light up the night. It's time for our Bingo Glow Show, the 17th. With over $10,000 in prizes, the stakes have never looked so bright. Score a cash jackpot of $1,199. Let's glow. Let's go. Fire up those taste buds with a new kitchen gadget, a hot dog roller, cast iron fajita plate, or even a burger press with a cheese melting dome. Earn 1,000 points on your Dreamcatchers Club card, and you'll score that week's gift, Thursdays or Fridays, 10 a.m. to 10 p.m. Let's eat.
Everybody knows Jackson's where you go. Jackson Rancheria.
Let's go. Let's go. Ignite your night with games and gifts at Jackson.
Jackson Rancheria.
Let's go.
Out here in the middle of all these acres,
it can feel like you're the only person on earth. And sometimes that's how it feels when you're going through tough times. Trouble sleeping, your mind racing. So what do? We get help. There are people in our community who are here for us. Sometimes just talking to someone can make all the difference in the world. Find more information at loveyourmindtoday.org. That's loveyourmindtoday.org. Brought to you by the Huntsman Mental Health Institute and the Ad Council.
From the 916, here's a rant. Stop claiming people not from Sacramento. Loomis is not Sacramento. Loomis is Sacramento. All right?
You're
Stop
wrong.
it. Okay?
Because if you say from Loomis, California, people are going to start looking up and down the map.
They're not even know where the hell it is.
Exactly.
That's exactly right. So you say you're from Sacramento, and then you go, well, I'm just outside. I'm in the general Sacramento area, Loomis. Just like you would say if you're from, if you meet somebody in Florida or Minnesota or Chicago, and you go, where are you from? You're not going to say you're from Folsom. You're going to say you're from Sacramento, all right? Or if you're from Elk Grove, you're going to say I'm from the Sacramento area. You're not going to say you're from Roseville.
Exactly. 224 likes to try to ruffle our feathers.
You know what? It's stupid. It's what it is.
You know?
You think anybody in the world knows where Loomis is? You think you're gonna meet somebody and you're gonna go, I'm from Loomis, and they're gonna go, what state is that in?
Coming down the ring from Loomis, California.
Come on. How many people are in Loomis? What's the population of Loomis?
I've got to think it's like 40 to 50,000 off the top of my head. Let's see.
Yeah, bring it up, would you?
Yeah, I mean, do we need to break things down by county now, Grant? Sacramento County, Placer County, El Dorado County, San Joaquin County.
Let me ask you this. Is Loomis part of the Sacramento television market?
It is.
Okay, it's Sacramento then. Okay.
68 to 7,000 residents. 6,800 to 7,000 residents.
So you were a little off.
I overestimated. Or did I underestimate? I underestimated.
Yeah. Loomis is an hour away? Really? Loomis?
Do you know why
Loomis?
I know about Loomis? Because the Tesla dealership is like right on the fringe of Roseville and Loomis. That's how I know where Loomis is.
So here's my question. I don't want to. Are you on your bicycle when you say you're an hour away? No, I'm serious. Are you on your bicycle when you say it's an hour away?
Get him.
Well, I'm just being honest. An hour away. What do you mean? By a walk or a bike? Hour away? Like, what are you talking about? An hour away?
Hold on. I need you.
Hot air balloon?
Pause this really quick.
It's time for Grant.
Hey, get a map out, would you please? It's an hour away. Loomis is an hour away from Sacramento. Get a freaking clue, would you please? Like, are you from Loomis? Do you even know where Loomis is? You think Loomis is an hour away from Sacramento? Seriously, I don't even have a bike, and I could ride my bike from Sacramento. Well, let me back that up. I can get somebody that rides a bike for a real passion, like a real workout, a hobby. I could probably get them from Sacramento to Loomis on their bike in an hour. An hour away. What kind of mode of transportation are you talking about? Wake up, would you please? Loomis is an hour away from Sacramento? Are you freaking kidding me or what? Do you even know where Loomis is? Let me tell you something. Nobody says they're from Loomis. All right? There's 7,000 people that live there. If they meet somebody in a different state and they go, where are you from? I'm from the Sacramento area. You don't go, you're from Loomis. Wake up, would you please? That's my rant for today. An hour away. Please. An hour away. You got to be kidding me. An hour away. Is Colfax Sacramento? No, Colfax is not Sacramento. All right, enough with the nonsense, all right? Get a freaking life, would you please? Seriously, get a life.
I think Kyle Larson does say Elk Grove
I don't
on
have
his
a problem
bio.
with that.
Yeah.
That's fine.
So
I don't
that's
have a
funny.
problem with that.
Good stuff by you. 60
Unbelievable.
An hour by bike.
916-779-0929. So NBA, Detroit gets Cade Cunningham back, playing on a team that is miserable in the Bucks. So Cunningham has so far played 19 minutes. So he'll probably get 23 to 25 minutes of work in. Get him back, get him acclimated. He's made 6 of 10 from the field. He has 6 assists, 4 rebounds. And what a welcome sight that must be for the Detroit Pistons, Rhino.
Huge. Absolutely huge.
Yeah.
So since you kind of circled back a little bit and you're going to give your thoughts again as we replay hour number 1, once we wrap up here at 6 o'clock, did you have any issue with what Draymond Green said last night?
Draymond talks just because he's a loudmouth, but he did make a point that I really don't disagree with. Why is it that in a year where everyone's talking about tanking, that only 2 teams have been fined, one being Indiana and the other being Utah? Why is only those 2 teams? So he does make a good point.
Yeah, I disagree with him in a sense, comparing tanking to fines for technicals or a fight or doing something bad on the court, right? Because that's black and white, right?
Yes.
It's already been
totally agree.
adjudicated. With tanking, there's so many shades of gray to it, and the NBA has to go through investigations.
Exactly right. I said this at the beginning of the show, and I'll just summarize for those that missed it. I know Doug Christie better than any of you, okay? He would never intentionally try to lose the game with 3 minutes left. All right, it's not who he is. It's not his DNA. It's not what he's about. He would never do that, okay? He doesn't even know how to do that. It was a coaching mistake. That's what happened last night. He made a mistake. You think he's going to intentionally foul a player, in this case, Seth Curry, knowing that he's in the penalty up by 1 point with 3 minutes and 12 seconds left to go in the fourth? Again, this comes down to common sense. Look at the individual that we're talking about here. He's not that guy. Okay, he's not doing that. So for those of you that think that he did it intentionally, you're wrong. All right, I say that with a lot of certainty. Now, can you criticize him like OP did for a coaching blunder? Yes, it's a coaching blunder. It's a mistake. Is he the first coach to make a mistake? No. Is he going to be the last coach to make a mistake? No. All right. Do I think this is now a mountain out of a molehill? Yes, I do. Why? Because tanking has been such an issue this year in the NBA. That was not tanking last night. That was a coaching mistake. It was a coaching snafu, and leave it at that. All right. Let's not make more out of this than it was. It was a coaching mistake. It shouldn't have happened. He needs to be better in that situation, but it's not tanking. It's not a guy that is trying to lose the game. You think Doug Christie is going to go that long in a game and with 3 minutes and 12 seconds left up by 1, go, gee, you know what? I got to do something stupid here to lose the game. Come on, wake up. Ryan, it falls into the category again of common sense.
Yeah, and I would hope, and maybe they won't, the NBA should be able to wrap this up very quickly. Like, this should not be like 19 interviews talking to the doctors that ruled players out. It would be nice to have this at least put to bed sooner rather than later. If you're going to go out and have Shams announce that the NBA is looking into it. But you're absolutely right about Doug.
By the way, our number one biker who came on his bike to see us at the Capitol Beer Fest a couple of weeks ago at the Capitol Mall, the one and only John. John said, I'll do it, Grant. Say the word, LOL. Getting on his bike from Sacramento and seeing how long it would take to get to Loomis. He rode his bike down to the Beer Fest.
He did. John Finch.
Said it took, 45 minutes, right?
Yep. And you know how windy it was that day?
Yeah, it was very windy. Oh. Yeah, exactly. Well, here's the deal. John's beard can act as a real asset or a deterrent, depending on the direction you're going, whether you're against the wind or into the wind. So that we have to factor into that. That would be a wind-aided time due to the aerodynamics of his beard.
How do you know? Have you had a beard before?
I've never had a beard. Have you?
Yes.
Really?
Not like his.
Nobody's had. I mean, very few people have had a beard like John's.
Could-
There are those, but not a lot.
Could you grow one if you wanted to?
Not like that. No.
But could you like grow enough of one to where it's not
I'm
patchy?
sure I could. I'm sure I could. I've never tried.
Do you shave every day?
Mostly.
Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Not sometimes once every 2 days, but it depends. Like if it's a weekend or what have you.
Are you a manual or electric guy?
No, I'm not an electric guy. Never used an electric razor.
I was going to say, I don't think Bert Napier would bring you up using an electric razor.
No. Bert Napier would not do that. Absolutely.
I got to start teaching my son how to use a razor.
That's a very interesting part of fatherhood.
Yeah.
Yes. And just for the record, I'm glad I don't have daughters.
Yes.
Okay. But that part of fatherhood, yes, that was always, because the first time you use a razor, you're paranoid you're just going to cut yourself, right?
Yeah. And it's crazy. And I bet most people can relate to this. If you're a parent, I feel like I laid my head down thinking about getting him the kids training set to teach him early.
Yeah.
And I woke up and now it's like, no, he needs to learn how to shave now.
Okay. Is that taking precedent over getting a passport?
No.
Okay.
No.
Okay.
No.
Okay. How are we doing on that, by the way?
Well, I was a little caught up today and last night, but probably next week I'll have it in. It's just making the drive back to Isleton, which if you're from Isleton, Sacramento area still. You're along the Sacramento River.
Somebody wants to know if I'm Scottish. I am not Scottish.
Are you the only one with red hair in your family?
I am, other than
really?
Yes, exactly. I'm the only one with red hair in my family. The goes back to my great grandfather or great great grandfather. That's correct.
Very interesting.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Yes, indeed.
Not too many times I learned something new every day. Or with you, I just learned something new.
You didn't think I was Scottish, did you?
No, I did not.
Okay.
No, you come off as Irish, my friend.
I'm part giant, part Yankee, part Ranger. That's what I am. I'm actually mostly German. I'm 7 different things, mostly German.
Do one of those 21andMe DNA tests, and it just comes back with a Giants logo, the Rangers logo,
yeah, right,
Yankees logo.
Yes. Speaking of the Yankees, they're playing the A's, and that game is in the top of the 6th now, and it is tied at 2. Boy, do the A's need a road win here. They really do. They need one. They need it. They really got to get a win here because they are playing the Yankees again tomorrow, and then they play the Mets following that. So, yes, absolutely. Said, Grant, I will need to find my Jim Rome script and send it to Ryan to see if it was worthy. I did Jetty Mind Trick, Jason Stu to get on hold, but never made it to the show. That's Lynn.
So Lynn,
you got to get back. Getting back Jay Stu is not easy.
Yeah, Jay Stu's not there anymore. It's not easy. But Lynn, here's what I would tell you. Unless you're a regular contributor, this is for everybody that's trying to get through there. Do not change up what you're going to do once you talk to him. Don't whoop-de-doo him.
Yeah. No.
So good
Speaking
job by
of Jay
you,
Stu,
Lynn.
he's on this station
Yes, he
every
is.
afternoon preceding us.
That's right. Good old Mr. Automatic with the
Got some
Knicks
voice, doesn't
thing.
he? Jay Stu's got a heck of a voice.
He's got an awkward voice.
Yeah, but it's very distinct.
Yes, that's a great way of putting it.
Very
Without
distinct.
the nicks and cuts of a razor.
Where's he from? Is he a Southern California kid?
He is. Yeah.
Okay.
He's a SoCal. He went to
Yeah,
Fullerton.
I knew Jay Stu from business, and then when I first met him up at Lake Tahoe one year, it was very cool to meet him in person, and we talked for quite a while. Yeah, good guy. I like Jay Stu.
I believe he has an IMBD. He was in a couple of flicks See,
what does that mean? IMBD.
Like he's been in film and
IMBD.
You've never heard of IMBD?
No.
It's like actors, actresses, public resume, like
I've
what
never
they've
heard
been
of that
on.
before.
Yeah, go check it out.
IMBD. You have any idea what it stands for?
None whatsoever. Yeah.
Okay.
But yeah, he's got an IMBD.
An IMBD. I've never, ever heard of that. Thank you for, I educated you on something. You educated me.
I'm sure you've probably looked up a movie or looked up an actress or an actor and you've stumbled onto that site. You just didn't realize what it was.
All right. I've never looked up an actor or an actress, so I wouldn't have stumbled on the site. But if I do, I'll look for it. How's that sound?
You've never looked up an actor or an actress?
Never. Not one time.
Like
Never.
you've never seen somebody in a movie where you're like, oh, what was she in? What was he in?
Never.
Huh. All right.
Not one time. On that note, we'll say thank you. I'm going to be on in an hour over on YouTube and X on my channel if you don't like that. Open Forum Wednesday at 7 o'clock. Look forward to that. Round 1 of the Masters tomorrow. We'll recap the A's, Yanks, Giants, Phillies are in the book. Good series for the Giants, taking 2 of 3. My thanks to Olden Polonese today. And for Ryan in Sacktown, I'm Grant Napear. Thanks so much for joining us right here on Fox Sports Sacramento. Bye-bye now.
It's the All Things Legal Show, heard every Saturday morning from 8 to 9. Join your host, Craig Ashton, with an entertaining and eclectic view of all things legal. Saturday mornings from 8 to 9. Remember, for the best advice, don't think twice. Call Ashton and Price.
Have you ever tried to buy gold and silver and felt like you were talking to a used car salesman? That's because the precious metals industry is like the Wild West. Salesmen can say pretty much anything or make any promise they want without repercussion. But Genesis Gold Group is different. They're a faith-driven Christian precious metals company and believe in educating their customers, not pressuring them for a quick sale. Genesis Gold Group focuses on customer service, not sleazy marketing. Genesis Gold Group is named after the first book of the Bible for